For the first time in 3 years, the Battle of the Valleys returns to Lubber Stadium in Allendale. It's a blackout, and it's Kids Day as number 7 Grand Valley State entertains Saginaw Valley State. Hi again, everybody. Welcome inside Lubber Stadium once again as we approach the back end of October alongside GLIAC columnist for D2Football.com, Tony Nicolette. I'm Brian Fongers. And Tony, as we get into the Battle of the Valleys here for Grand Valley State's sake, last week, well, a little dicey after the first half at Northern Michigan, but you look at the run game and the quarterback situation. They're playing 3 quarterbacks now. Andrew Schuster, Brady Drogosh, Zach Olenizak. Seems like still trying to figure out that identity, but it's starting to take shape a little bit.
Well, part of the identity with those 3 quarterbacks is that the coaching staff really believes that all 3 of them are very capable in both the run game and the pass game. And I think sometimes with multiple quarterbacks, you get a little worried that it becomes predictable. One's going to run, one's going to pass. The staff doesn't think that with those 3. As far as the offensive output last week, the first half definitely looked, I think, a little, let's say, unsatisfactory if you're a Laker fan, but in the third quarter they came out and played much more attuned to Laker football and ended up getting the easy win as a result.
And Tony, for Saginaw Valley State's purposes, they're 500 on the season, but they're unbeaten like Grand Valley State is in GLIAC play. A couple of get-right games the last couple of weeks. The run game's been very effective. What are you looking to see out of this Saginaw Valley State group in terms of them trying to get a victory here today?
Well, the first few weeks of the season, Saginaw Valley, I think, saw some things defensively that maybe they weren't anticipating, and I got a chance to talk to Coach Brady, and he shared a little bit about that. The last 2 weeks, they played teams that they definitely had overmatched and did what they were expected to do. Both teams undefeated in GLIAC play, and now that the NCAA has changed the rules so that it's an automatic qualifier for winning the conference, everything that they want in terms of a playoff bid is still in front of them. So this is a huge game for both teams to keep themselves on that pace.
Yeah, Grand Valley State is 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in GLIAC play. Saginaw Valley State 3-3, also 2-0, and like Tony said, the team that wins the GLIAC this year gets that automatic qualifier. So this is what I guess you could say is like Separation Saturday a little bit.
Could be. We've got Tech hosting Ferris, so the 4 top teams are all facing each other in the GLIAC this week. So we're going to know a little bit more about who has a real chance to take the conference crown, but also maybe possibly hang on for a playoff berth as an at-large team at the end of the season.
Well, Tony, this is my first in-person experience of the Battle of the Valleys here because the past couple of years, due to the schedule change with Roosevelt joining the GLIAC, and they have to quote-unquote reset the schedule here. Just give me some advice here. What am I expecting here out of this afternoon's game?
Well, I think, Brian, the Saginaw is going to try and score more points than Grand Valley, and if they do that, they probably feel like they have a good chance to win. No, this is actually a great rivalry, and our colleague Steve Lloyd-Jones talked about this on the coaches show this week. You go back about 20 years or so, this was the rivalry. Not only just in the GLIAC, but nationally. These were 2 teams that were going to be top 5. You go back to basically that 01-02 through maybe 06-07. Those teams were ranked highly every year, and their battles were epic, both in the regular season and in the playoffs. So there's still some of that that's coming back again. Coach Brady obviously played on those Grand Valley teams in that era, so he knows what that's like, and he's trying to bring some of that competitiveness back to Saginaw Valley in terms of the rivalry, even though Grand Valley's had the better of it for the most part over the last 10-15 years.
54th all-time meeting between these 2 annual rivals. GVSU 42-11 all-time. They won last season at Saginaw Valley State in a defensive struggle, 16-9. But like you said, Tony, GVSU has had a stranglehold. It has been since 2012 that Saginaw Valley State has beaten Grand Valley State. Here in Allendale, you have to go all the way back to 2003.
Wow. That's a nugget that I was not aware of coming into the game, so kudos to you and your research team there, Brian. Yeah, no, this is I think this is a big statement game for both teams, but particularly for Saginaw Valley from the standpoint that they really got off to a rougher start than they were expecting. And this is a game that could kind of get them over the hump, get them back over 500, keep them in control of their own destiny in terms of the GLIAC title race and the playoff bid that goes along with it. And even if they don't make the bracket, this is still a hang-your-hat-on-it game for a team that, let's face it, defensively had to replace so much. So there are a lot of young guys that Coach Brady's hoping will be back next year, and they've got an offense that's got a lot of people that should be back next year as well. So this is a big builder for them.
This is a game where it all comes full circle. Tony mentioned the head coach for Saginaw Valley State, and we'll get into more of how he got here and his past roots, especially when it comes to playing at Grand Valley State. Ryan Brady, 6th season for him. Scott Wooster, as we all know, for Grand Valley State, year number 3 for him. Grand Valley State will get the football on this blackout Saturday afternoon. It's Kids Day here at Lubbers Stadium. Saginaw Valley State getting ready to kick the ball off at their own 35-yard line. You have Lynn Weichel and Kellen Reed back to receive for the Lakers. Toe to leather, Battle of the Valleys is underway. It's a deep kick, and it's going to sail over the heads of the returners to the back of the end zone for a touchback. And with this 3-quarterback system, as always, starting off the game has been the case all year. It's normally Andrew Schuster. You've got all 3 quarterbacks, Tony, in that huddle here. I'm assuming Schuster's going to break the huddle here to start things off behind center.
Well, and that's an assumption that I would make as well, and that appears to be what's going to happen. But you're right. With all 3 of them going into the huddle, I think that's part of what Coach Schuster and the staff want, is let's keep the defense guessing, make sure they don't ever feel fully prepared for what it is that the Lakers are going to do.
Good to see Sion Usma-Harper, who's the deep back in action. He missed last week's game due to injury, got banged up in the Davenport game. He is to the left of Schuster, who's in the shotgun. First play from scrimmage as the Cardinals show blitz. Now they retreat. First play from scrimmage. Handoff, patiently trying to find a hole is Usma-Harper, and maybe 2 yards at most, and that is it before he's shoved backwards. We get some late pushing and shoving. That's one thing we're going to have to keep an eye on, because as we go through the starters for the Laker offense, Tony, these 2 teams, the 2 most penalized teams in the GLIAC.
Yeah, well, and that's something that I don't think either coach necessarily wants to hang their hat on. Not good to see Usma-Harper already looking a little nicked up and hobbling his way off the field as the Lakers set up for 2nd and 8.
Yeah, they'll go empty this time, and like you said, first play, Usma-Harper is hobbling. So Schuster alone in the gun. Send his receiver in motion. That's actually Derek Woods, who gets the jet sweep. Another running back, and he can't turn the corner. May have gotten a yard. That's it. Again, we get more pushing and shoving after the whistle, but it's going to set up 3rd and a long 7 for this Laker offense as Usma-Harper comes back into the game immediately.
Well, and the Lakers, I think, sometimes this is one of the things that just seems to be what we've noticed with that run game. Sometimes it seems like they're almost a little more hesitant to try and wait for things to open up than they are, and that's part of the nature of the style of that zone blocking scheme. But, boy, it just seemed like he could have turned it upfield a little bit sooner, maybe had a chance to get a little bit more than the one that he did.
Hard clap. Cardinals don't jump. They'll check off to the sideline. 10 on the play clock. Again, Usma-Harper's the running back. Saginaw sideline really making some noise across the way from where we're perched up top. Here's the snap. Short drop. Pocket holes. Now he steps up. Tucks it, tries to run it, and he's brought down from behind. That's going to go down as a sack. He did lose a yard, and he was chased down from behind by their leading tackler for the Cardinals in Christian Buive.
Yeah, I think this is more of just that's a bad matchup to get a hobbled running back against their best defensive player in pass protection. But also Saginaw did a great job on the back end. I mean, if you look downfield as the patterns were developing, there just wasn't anybody open. And so normally that's a crease that you'd think Schuster's going to try and pull it down and run it, but Buive makes the play, and the Lakers are going to have to kick it away.
3 and out go the Lakers on their first drive. Here is Trace Hergich. He has got a cannon for a leg. Return man for the Cardinals, parked around his 25. Short roll to his right. It's going to be a line drive kick. Let's see how far this rolls. It's going to angle towards the sideline, picked up there, and not a decent return because he ran out of room. The return man for the Cardinals scooping it up there was Braden Hill, and he scampers for maybe 5 yards to the 35. Pretty good kick there by Hergich using the rugby style, and here comes that Cardinal offense led by Mason McKenzie at quarterback.
Yep, Mason McKenzie from here in West Michigan, played at Caledonia High School, was pretty well sought after by most teams in the GLIAC, and ended up basically becoming the starter last year as a freshman. And we talked about this on some of the D2 shows that we do. He's the only returning starter for a GLIAC team that played every game at quarterback last year.
He's also second in the GLIAC in rushing as a quarterback. As he takes the first snap here. It's a handoff on the cutback, finding a little bit of space and trudging his way for maybe 3 yards is Michael Jamerson, senior out of Flint, bring up 2nd and 7.
Bit of a luxury that the Cardinals have, too, in that Jamerson was on the roster the last few years. Obviously, you said he's a senior. He's played a lot of snaps, but he was playing behind Terrence Brown previously. And you're going to see Terrence Brown plenty in this game, but more so out of the slot and a little bit out of the backfield. They moved him to wide receiver during camp, and it's paid off dividends for them.
On 2nd down, Pocket collapses immediately. Now a throw over the middle. He's got his receiver in stride for a first down into Laker territory before he's ushered out of bounds. That's Eric Kraft, another senior. Good pitch and catch, and the Cardinals are in business in enemy territory.
Yeah, this is just great patience by McKenzie, waiting and kind of navigating his way up through the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield. Kraft was an all-GLIAC selection last year, so he's a guy who can play and somebody that the Lakers are going to have to pay attention to. And McKenzie was just to wait for him to come open and hit him on that slant to get a first down.
From the 45, running a little bit of tempo. Receiver goes in motion. There's the jet sweep to the wide side, turning it upfield. Another first down before getting tripped up from behind. That is Terrence Brown Jr., Detroit native, and he was able to bolt into the secondary and get good yardage.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we were expecting to see out of Brown. He actually led the team in yards last week with only 3 carries from the rushing perspective, and he definitely led the team in receiving. So he is absolutely somebody they're going to try and get the ball to in multiple ways, and it's somebody the Lakers are going to have to be paying attention to.
Cardinals on the move with their first drive of the ball game. On the snap, short drop, McKenzie bobbing, sets, throws, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Jamari Button swats it away. It's incomplete.
This is actually just a real good job on the back end by the Lakers here, kind of just gumming up everything. McKenzie had to sit there and be patient. Now, if you're the Laker defense and Coach Jim Lewis, you're really hoping, even though you dropped into coverage there, at some point when you're only bringing 4, somebody's got to get home. And it's a little bit of a dangerous thing there. Maybe they're trying to keep McKenzie in the pocket because he's such a threat with his legs. But, boy, you don't want him standing back there forever like he was on that play.
On 2nd and 10, handoff, right side, plunging ahead for the couple of yards is Israel Bradford. He's a redshirt freshman out of Cincinnati and gets about 2. 3rd and long coming up for Saginaw Valley.
And plays like that, sometimes you ask yourself, gee, why did they run that? It didn't do very much. McKenzie will pull that ball out and keep it on the zone read and pull it back around. And that's one of the things that the Lakers are going to have to pay a lot of attention to, is making sure they stay home on that backside and not give him a running lane, because those are big plays waiting to happen if they keep setting that up.
Jamerson back into the ball game at running back for the Cardinals on 3rd and 8. Here comes the blitz. Pocket holds. Now it collapses, and he's whipped to the turf. Anthony Cardamone brings him down for a sack back at the 35.
And this was nothing more than, we're going to send more people than you can block. And the Lakers were able to collapse that pocket. And you notice this is another instance where McKenzie didn't have anywhere to escape, right? So that could have been why they only brought the 4 on the play before that we talked about, and keeping him in that pocket. They know he can be effective as a runner. Don't give him anywhere to get out of harm's way.
Well, we got a lot of confusion here defensively for GVSU as Saginaw Valley's lining up for a long field goal attempt, almost 53 yards, and Scott Wooster, he's not going to use a timeout. Here comes the field goal attempt. Line drive kick, sidewinder, and he got it. What a kick. Tegan Lenderink, a junior out of Rockford, drills the 53-yard field goal, and the Cardinals strike first. 3-0 early on here in Allendale. A lot going on there on that field goal attempt. We'll pause. Lakers back on offense after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
University of Michigan Health West is here to help you stay in the game. No matter what kind of athlete you are, the region's premier sports medicine program is here to help you stay on the move. With decades of experience in sports medicine care at 5 of our health centers, our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
Where can you find top name brand products at low local prices? Only at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Our expert staff will work with you to select the perfect appliance, mattress, or TV that fits your lifestyle and your budget. To all the comforters, we're here for you with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper at Nowara Brothers.
Feel the difference today and get more at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Nowara Brothers Home Store, family owned and operated since 1948.
Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette back with you inside Lover Stadium. Battle of the Valleys. Saginaw Valley State strikes first. 3-0 Cardinals on their opening drive of the football game. Took advantage of some relatively decent field position, and a 53-yard field goal from Lendering gives the visitors an early lead. He'll get set for the ensuing kickoff, and he's got a good leg. And you made a good point, too, in the break, Tony, with the wind blowing the way it is. Saginaw Valley State in the first quarter going with the wind.
Yeah, and it's, we were down on the field before the game. It's not gusting by any stretch of the imagination, but it is out of the south.
And he slipped there off a one hop, fielded by one of the upbacks, and a good return out to the 35-yard line. Trying to see who that was on the return for Grand Valley State. As you get some highlights from
Drake
the
Deshetsky.
Cardinal drives. It was, Drake Deshetsky on the return. But the run game got things going on that drive early for the Cardinals.
Yeah, they sure did, but then the Lakers did a good job of kind of slowing that one down that we talked about has got to be a concern in terms of the backside keep for the quarterback. But yeah, a couple of pass plays for Saginaw once they got down kind of into that scoring area. Seems a little funny considering how well they ran it, although they did get the big play to Kraft. So I think they're trying to keep a good balance, and that's what keeps defenses on their toes.
Andrew Schuster back in at quarterback for GVSU from their own 34. Usma Harper, the running back. They give it to him. Left side, turns it upfield, speeds his way across the 40, close to a first down. A yard shy, that's a good 9-yard pickup on first down.
Well, and that's more of what we were hoping to see on the first possession if you're a Laker fan, I suppose. But yeah, good to see Usma Harper back in there after seemingly hobbled there on the first series. And again, this is a little bit more of the straightforward blocking from that offensive line. Not as much waiting, more of the holes there, put your foot in the ground and get upfield. And now you're set up in second and short.
2nd and 1. Usma Harper stays out there. Couple of fake claps. Third time. Snap, handoff, pretty much the same play. Usma Harper gets the first down, keeps the feet pumping, and he high steps his way out of bounds, close to midfield. They'll move the sticks.
For Grand Valley now, okay, you got a first down under your belt. Now Brady Drogosh is on the field. Now it's, you can start to get your that initial breath out of you and start to do some of the things that you want to do to maybe put the offense in play and confuse Saginaw Valley. Take advantage of what you got.
Well, to your point, Schuster and Drogosh are out here.
Yep.
In the backfield. Drogosh is to the left as an H-back of Schuster. Play clock down to 5 on first down. Hand it off again left side, using the left side of the line. This time Usma Harper gets spun around and shoved back. Nothing there, no gain. We'll call it 2nd and 10. So a little wrinkle here from Ian Shoemaker, the offensive coordinator for GVSU.
Yep, and sometimes that's what you can do when you've got guys who can do so many different things. Just the fact that they're on the field makes the defense have to account for them. And obviously Drogosh is such a capable runner, maybe the most capable in terms of physicality of the 3 quarterbacks. And now he's lined up to take the snap here, and Schuster's actually come off to the sideline.
Usma Harper stays in there as the running back. On 2nd down, play action fake. Drogosh bobbing, flush to his right. He's in trouble, evades pressure, throws to the sideline. He's got it complete to his big tight end. A couple yards shy of a first down. On the catch there was Unger. What's the flag all about? It was thrown in front of the Cardinal sideline, and they're indicating it's against GVSU. An eligible man downfield against the Lakers.
Well, when you have a play that takes that long like that, sometimes that's one of the risks. Quarterback keeps a play alive, and the linemen get downfield.
An eligible downfield player. Offense, number 10, 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
It was a tight end that must have been covered up.
Yeah, and he's the one who caught the ball.
Yes, Unger, Harrison Unger.
Okay.
So he must have been covered up, and that goes back to pre-snap, a formation alignment issue.
Yeah, and you hate to see stuff like that, but that play, even though it got called back, still gives Saginaw something to think about from the standpoint that that was actually a nice throw on the run, on the right spot to make the completion by Drogosh. He's not just a run-only guy. That's what they want them to worry about.
So now it's 2nd and 15. Drogosh still in a quarterback. Hand it off to the wide side. Trying to find a crease. There's nothing there. Usma Harper, no gain. Check that. That's Kenneth Jones on the carry, now to Usma Harper. He gets no gain, but it's 3rd and long. Andrew Schuster back into the game.
And this is what you don't want to see happen if you're Grand Valley is All right, now you send Schuster back out there, and it's 3rd and long. The mystery is no longer there, right? You know they're going to probably throw the football. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers try to do here to be able to get this much yardage, or do they just set up to try and punt it and pin the Saginaw deep in their own end?
Pascal Jolman, the running back, to the right of Schuster on 3rd and 15. Just a 4-man rush. Schuster sets, throws on a screen. He's got it to Jolman. He's got blocks, and he's loose down the sideline. It's a foot race inside the 20. He's gone. Touchdown, GVSU. What a great play designed by the Lakers, and great blocking from the offensive line downfield.
Oh, yes, and this is what Laker fans have been waiting to see happen, and you almost saw it against Davenport a couple weeks ago when Brady Drogosh was in and he got picked off on just a brilliant play by the Davenport defensive line. But this is a great one where it's just so much congestion and it looks like there's nothing really happening, and then all of a sudden Pascal Jolman's got it. He's got a convoy, and he just outruns the defense for 6. So much for setting up to try and punt and play field position.
He's a touchdown per game man, as Pascal Jolman. Fruitport native. Here's the extra point from Basic. It's up, and it's good. 7-3 Grand Valley State on top of Saginaw Valley State. As we go to a timeout, we'll see what the Laker defense has on tap after this, as you're tuning in live to the Grand Valley Sports Network.
So, you're moving or doing a home renovation, and you need a place to store your stuff. Get a Unit's portable storage container, fast and on budget. Our Robo Unit can drop it anywhere. You pack it on your schedule, store it wherever you are, or have us pick it up and take it to our climate-controlled, clean, and secure warehouse. Need it moved to another location? We do that too. We're proud of our good old-fashioned customer service, but we know price matters. At Units of Grand Rapids, we'll beat any price. Click now or go to unitsstorage.com and get your initial delivery for free.
University of Michigan Health West is here to help you stay in the game. No matter what kind of athlete you are, the region's premier sports medicine program is here to help you stay on the move. With decades of experience in sports centers, our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
Times and places are all in who you share them with, and it's life, and the point is enjoying who you share it with.
Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette back with you inside Lover Stadium, Battle of the Valleys, and number 7 GVSU has gotten their first lead. 58-yard screen pass. Andrew Schuster to Pascal Jolman, and here's the replay. And Tony, I love a good screen game.
Yeah, well, I think that makes 2 of us, and I think the thing that we also need to pay attention here too is the speed of Jolman. You know, he's known as more of a physical runner, and they bring him in more often on physical run-based packages, and he basically ran away from Saginaw's defense on that play. Great play design, great execution.
Into the wind. Here's the next kick from Basic. Did he tuck it inside the pylon? Yes, he did. Oh, that's precision at its finest. I can't do that with a 9-iron from 150 yards out on the golf course.
I can't do it from a putter from 2 feet out on the golf course.
That was a great kick.
You must be a lot better than I am.
But it's a touchback. Here come the Cardinals now. Their first drive, Tony, had decent field position, resulted in a long field goal. There's Ryan Brady, the head coach. And just a quick history lesson on Ryan Brady. He played under Brian Kelly at Grand Valley State, won a national championship in 2002, and he was the quarterbacks coach for GVSU in 2003 when they went back-to-back.
He was, but he's actually from Chesaning, which is very near Saginaw in that Tri-City area, and won a state championship at Chesaning High School as a player as a senior.
So here's Mason McKenzie. Takes the first down snap. It's an option pitch to the wide side, and slipping, but had really not much room to go. That was Jamerson on the carry. May have gotten a yard. That's it. Good pursuit by the Laker defense.
Yep, and if you're Saginaw Valley, again, that's a play that you're trying to test. Are the Lakers going to play assignment sound? One, but then two, if they do, you're still making them run sideline to sideline. You want to try and wear that defense out so that over the course of the game, your run game becomes more effective just because your offensive line has that endurance advantage over the defense.
2nd and 9. McKenzie will check off to the line of scrimmage. Plenty of time on the play clock. On the snap, drops back, sets, throws over the middle. Ooh, that was almost picked off, almost hit the umpire, and went off the chest protector of his intended target. Incomplete. It'll set up 3rd and long. He was looking there for his go-to guy in Terrence Brown.
Yeah, and this was a very similar play to the one they hit to Kraft earlier, where it's just a kind of a late breaking slant over the middle. And boy, it sure looked like that was going to turn into a big play. So Lakers are going to have to find a way to find somebody on the backside to take that passing lane away.
It's a Grand Valley secondary that has gotten much improved over the coming weeks since the beginning of the season with so many new faces. 3rd and 9, McKenzie, high snap, pulls it down, has time. Now he has no room to go, and he's going to get whipped down deep in the backfield for a sack. Bringing him down is Kamani Potts for their 2nd sack of the football game.
All right, we've seen something consistently on these dropbacks for Saginaw Valley so far, Brian, right? And that's that the Grand Valley defense is trying to keep that pocket. They're trying to almost get upfield and then stop and not give him a way out. And he actually had somebody late open over the middle. He just, A, couldn't see it, and B, he had nowhere to go to get out of harm's way, and it results in another stack. Great scheming by Jim Lewis and the defensive staff for the Lakers.
Interesting there to begin the punting formation. Saginaw Valley State had 2 guys back to punt. Now they have just 1. Here comes the rush. Great kick, spiraling kick. Fielding at the 35-yard line is Lynn Weichel. Evades a couple of tacklers. Angling past midfield. He's brought down from behind, but he gets a great return into Cardinal territory at the 45-yard line. We do have a flag all the way back around where Saginaw Valley State snapped the football. And where the punter kicked it, was this running into the kicker?
I don't remember seeing
I didn't see anything
any
either.
chance they had to block it.
Yeah, they kind of ran into him. I think it's only 5.
Running into the kicker. Defense, number 5. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay 4th down.
So Saginaw Valley State, that's a smart decision. They're going to re-kick it.
Yes and no, right? So
we'll
first of all, great acting job by the punter on that one, because that was you could see him take himself out. But you just made your coverage team run down and pursue. Now you're going to make them run and chase after a guy who just burned you for a decent return again? Yeah. I don't know. To me, they're going to have decent field position no matter what. Do you take that risk of him actually getting another shot at it?
Again, they're going to line up with 2 quote-unquote punters. And their punter is also their place kicker, who drilled the 53-yard field goal in Lenderink. And he's alone deep in the backfield there. Take 2 of the punt here for Saginaw Valley State. Good snap, no rush. And this one is another booming kick. Retreating around his 25 is Lynn Weichel. Stumbles, regains his footing. Slipping tacklers, lost the football. Did he lose the football? I think he did. Yes, he did. Whoa, that ball was raked right out of his hands. And the Cardinals come up with it. What a play there. I think that was Terrence Brown.
Well, so much for my analysis of why you don't punt it again.
What a play.
It was a beautiful second kick, and, yeah, he just takes it right away from
the result of the play is that
Weichel.
the kick was touched by the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team.
That was
First
a
down,
clean
Saginaw
strip.
Valley.
Well, we talked to head coach Ryan Brady before the game, and he said Terrence Brown may play both sides of the football. He didn't mention special teams.
No, he absolutely did not.
Well, the Cardinals are in business. They get the turnover, and they're in Laker territory at the 31, down 7-3 late in the first. McKenzie with his running back Jamerson next to him. They'll hand it off to Jamerson. There's a huge hole right up the middle, and he's able to shimmy his way close to a first down. I think he got exactly 10. We'll see where the spot is. No indication yet. I think he's inches short. We got a Laker hobbling off the field. Don't want to see that.
I think that's Barnett.
Yeah, that's Tommy Barnett. They go tempo. Looks to his right, back to his left. Now he's in trouble. Sidearm throw, and that's a dangerous throw. Looking for Jamerson, and if the defender for GVSU is looking for the football, he may have picked that off. They did give him a first down, so that was a late chain mover there. So that was 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals.
That's the first time today that we've seen Saginaw go empty in the backfield too. So interesting to see how Coach Brady and his offensive staff are trying to mix things up to keep the Lakers off balance.
So from the 21, now they're slowing it down after the incompletion. Jamerson, the running back, to the right of McKenzie. H-back bobs in motion to the left. Here comes the blitz off the edge. Pocket holds momentarily. Now it breaks down. Here's a jackpot ball. Right sideline. Flag comes down. It's incomplete. We have multiple flags in the secondary. And we got some barking going on as well. This might be against GVSU.
Well, and this is funny too, because when he let that ball go, he was still inside the pocket, and there was nobody over there. And so the Cardinals kind of ran their way into these penalties, because that sure looked an awful like a potential of
pass
grounding.
interference. Defense, number 4, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And they called against Deontay Pippen. And again, good pass rush.
See, watch this. When that ball gets released, there's nobody even outside of the hash marks. So this is unfortunate for the Lakers from the standpoint that very easily could have been an intentional grounding, and it turns into a huge penalty that sets the Cardinals up with 1st and goal.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty at the 6. Now they're going to go a little wildcat as McKenzie shifts over to the guard. Jamerson takes the snap, fakes the pitch, and runs it right up the middle into the rugby scrum, and he's down to the 3. So trying to fake GVSU in the backfield with some shifting, and he gets half the yardage to the goal line. So 2nd and goal from the 3.
Interesting to see Saginaw Valley just continuing to do different things like we talked about. They went empty. Now they've gone wildcat. We haven't seen Nick Patterson come in yet, which we would expect in these short yardage and kind of jumbo situations. So plenty of things for the Cardinals to do to keep the Lakers off balance.
Everyone gets lined up. 10 on the play clock. Wide receiver goes in motion. 2nd and goal. Play action rollout. He's got a man in the flat, and it's knocked down at the last second. Incomplete. Again, almost picked off. That is their leader in the secondary, Jason Hardy, swatting it away at the goal line.
Boy, and you're not kidding. This was almost 6 the other way if he's able to find this. And great play. Anthony Cardamone kind of makes this play, right? Making McKenzie have to throw it over him and throw kind of not on schedule.
Here's a wildcat look again. Heavy package. Jamerson is the player that was going to take the direct snap, and I think GVSU had to burn a timeout. They did. As we're down to almost 2.5 to go in the first quarter. Yeah, we'll keep it here. These two schools, again, depending on how fast you drive, east side to west side, couple hours. It's not a bad drive.
Not a bad drive. Over the years, I've done enough coverage of both Saginaw and Northwood where I figured out some of the country road back zigzag ways you can go to get to either one of those, where you can, sometimes it's a little more fun, but probably not as dicey as you want it when you're dodging farm equipment and things like that.
Yes,
so
that is true.
The expressway is probably the smarter way, but you know.
So again, 3rd and goal for the Cardinals at the 3. You would have to assume, especially if it stays 4th and relatively short inside the 5, this is probably a play call for Saginaw Valley State saying, hey, if they don't get it, they're still close, they could go for it.
They certainly could. This is a game that's playing out, though, too, where maybe those 3 points become valuable, and only being down 7-6, even when you thought you were kicking the ball away, could mean something to them as well.
Again, Jamerson will take the Wildcat direct snap as they go heavy personnel. On the snap, trying to keep it left side. There's nothing there. What penetration by the Laker front as they bring him down for a big loss of 4 yards back to the 7, and they're going to kick it, Tony.
Yeah, that kind of took all the mystery out of it. So great job by the Lakers here. And this is one, too, where you just sometimes you wonder that, they had to kind of do the double swinging gate to bring all the linemen back in. Sometimes it just seems like that's more window dressing. I mean, that's a play where you're just trying to block it up, and they just didn't. The Lakers defensive front just ate them up.
Ronald Jackson, redshirt freshman out of Belleville, in on the stop for GVSU. Here's Lenderink. He's got a 53-yard field goal. This is just a chip shot from 25 yards out, and that's easy for him. It's good. So 2 field goals for the Cardinals gets it down to a 1-point game late in the first. Now 7-6 Grand Valley State. Laker defense holds after the turnover. We'll take a break. Lakers back on offense after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Final moments of the first quarter here in Allendale. Battle of the Valleys. Brian Pongers, Tony Nicolette. 7-6 GVSU. Lakers getting set to get the football back. Cardinals, after recovering a fumble on a punt return, get down inside the 5. Had their 3rd and goal play blown up. Had to settle for a short field goal by Lendering. Now he drives the football, Lendering does, over the head of Kellen Reed into the end zone for another touchback. Here's that fumble that Saginaw Valley, it was just raked out of the hands. Terrence Brown just steals it from Lynn Weichel.
And you can see Brown's mad that he didn't get a chance to return it.
And here's that, can you say maybe controversial call there, maybe intentional grounding. It was pass interference, led to a short 25-yard field goal from Lendering. He's 2 for 2 on the afternoon to make it 7-6.
And we didn't talk too much, too. If you've watched that snap on that chippy that they just hit, Brett Mueller, the holder, did a whale of a job because that snap came in hot and high, and he was able to get it down in time for Lendering to be able to knock it through.
So here's Schuster with Derek Woods to his left at running back. Tight end comes in motion on first down. Schuster drops back, flush to his left. On the run, throws across his body, batted up in the air, and it's incomplete. Oh, a dangerous throw to begin with. And it falls harmlessly to the turf. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
I'm sure you've heard Bob Mitchell say this, and I'll say it too. Never throw late back over the middle, especially back across your body. So, you know, he had a couple of guys he could have probably gotten the ball to, but boy, that's just got danger written all over it. And I'm sure Coach Shoemaker's going to have some coaching available to Mr. Schuster during film study this week on that one.
Now on 2nd and 10. Derek Woods still the running back to Schuster's right. Hard clap, kind of a, I don't know, almost a delayed action there in the backfield as Schuster had to really reach it out to hand off to Woods, and he's able to dive ahead for 3 yards. I don't know if that was intended or not.
This kind of just encapsulates what Grand Valley's run game has kind of looked like so far this year, just disjointed, and it almost looked like either Woods was a half a step too far away and wasn't in the right position, or Schuster wasn't quite sure where the ball was supposed to. It just, everything just kind of looks like it's very difficult for the Lakers trying to run the football.
Pascal Jolman, who's got the touchdown in at running back on 3rd and 7. Schuster takes the snap, a 4-man rush. Pocket collapses, retreats, throws over the middle. He's got Jolman, spins away from one tackler. Can he get there? I think he did. What an effort by Jolman as he's able to squeeze his way through a couple of tacklers for a first down.
Great athleticism by both Jolman and Schuster to keep this play alive. Again, this is, you got to give Saginaw Valley credit on the back end. They seem to know what Grand Valley is going to do in terms of route trees in this game, because they really haven't had people open downfield on any of these dropbacks that they've had.
Might be the final play of the quarter. We'll see on 1st and 10 from their own 36. Schuster will hand it off. Kenneth Jones tries to cut it back. Maybe a couple, that's it. And that wide zone play that they love to run, trying to find a crease off the edge. It's going to bring up second, call it 2, 2nd and 8, and that might do it for the first quarter.
And you're right, they're just trying to find that small crease to be able to get upfield. And you know, if the defensive lineman that's trailing that play isn't able to wrap him up by his legs, he probably does get a large gain downfield on that.
And that will do it for the first quarter play. A quarter that was played, I guess you could say, close to the vest a little bit. 7-6 Grand Valley State teams will flip ends. 2nd and 8 coming up for GVSU in their own territory when we begin the second quarter after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Before the first whistle, we're already in motion. We move more than athletes. We move belief. Because when the moment matters most, so does the ride. While others promise, we prepare. The difference isn't what you see. It's what you never have to worry about. Go right way. Moving what matters.
Yeah, he sheds a little, and he barks at the mailman. But for trustworthy, nobody beats Archie. Except maybe the guys at Cool Toyota. They made me feel like part of the family the second I walked in the door. Then they gave me a great deal backed by their 10-year, million-mile warranty. Want to go for a million-mile walk, boy? Nah, I didn't think so. Wherever I'm going, I let Cool Toyota take me there.
Honey?
But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo in a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Here we go with second quarter action on the Grand Valley Sports Network. My name is Brian Fongers, joined alongside Tony Nicolette, GLIAC columnist for D2Football.com. 7-6 Grand Valley State, Battle of the Valleys, 54th all-time installment of this annual rivalry, as they did a special honor as well in the end zone here after the first quarter, 20th anniversary of the 05 championship team.
Yeah, those were some really good Laker teams, and we talked about this before the show today, and maybe a little bit in the early going, is this was the rivalry in the GLIAC, and so those Grand Valley teams that won titles had to beat really good Saginaw teams to do it.
So on 2nd and 8 for GVSU at their own 37, Andrew Schuster, the quarterback. They're going to run a little misdirection on the end around. Kellen Reed gets strung out. Look out, he's in trouble, and he's not going anywhere. Boy, the Cardinals had that sniffed out beautifully. Kellen Reed, big loss of at least 5 yards back to the 32.
Yeah, and this is that kind of just delayed reverse that the Lakers love to run, and Saginaw Valley was just all over it. Christian Boyve and the rest of his crew just had this sniffed out, stayed home, and just pursued and drove Reed out of bounds for a big loss, and now you got 3rd and long again for the Lakers.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd, and if my math is correct, 14. Just underway in the second quarter, they go empty. Schuster has only completed a couple of passes, both to Pascal Jolman, and now Saginaw Valley State's got to burn a timeout.
So those 2 passes that he's completed to Jolman have been big plays for the Lakers, right? They converted a 3rd and long on the last, before we went to the quarter break, and I think it was a 3rd and long again where they got the touchdown on the screen pass. If you're Saginaw Valley, you got to be thinking, all right, we are doing really well against the base offense that Grand Valley has. We're getting into 3rd and long consistently. If you're Grand Valley, you're asking yourself, why are we in 3rd and long consistently? That's not what the Lakers want to be doing. If they're in 3rd at all, they want to be 3rd and short. So this is definitely a big play here, as Saginaw Valley really hasn't had the better of it moving the football, but still stays within a point here. And the Lakers are going to try and get something established in terms of putting a long drive together, but they got their work cut out for them with 3rd and 14 in front of them.
Schuster stays in at quarterback. We have not seen Zach Olenizak, the 3rd quarterback, in yet for GVSU. We've seen spells of Brady Drogosh early in this football game, but Schuster's done the bulk of the work behind center. Again, he's alone in the backfield. Scans the defense, does Schuster. Taking his time, now he takes a snap, a 4-man rush. Steps up, side steps to his right, throws, he's got a man and an out route, wide open Kenyon Owens for a first down around midfield. I don't know if that was a coverage bust, but he was wide open.
Well, sometimes on these long developing routes that it takes to get 14 yards, it takes a little while for somebody to come free like that. And so Drogosh does a great job of eluding the rush. You still got to wonder for Grand Valley, Saginaw only brought 4 guys and one kind of came basically free. It almost looks like, again, maybe the assignments just aren't the group hasn't just gelled yet, but it's still a great play for the Lakers to set up first down up near midfield.
Massive 3rd down conversion at their own 49. Now on a handoff to the boundary, Sion Usma Harper can't spin away from the tackler. He's able to twist his way for 5 yards into Cardinal territory, bring up 2nd and medium.
2nd and 5 and plus territory. The playbook's wide open here, and this is, if you're Grand Valley, okay, let's not take a loss on this play and getting ourselves into 3rd and long again. The 3rd down conversions in this game for Grand Valley are at a high rate already, and when you look at the dire circumstances they've come under, it's almost like, boy, they're really doing something really good to get those converted.
Kenneth Jones, the running back to the right of Schuster. Sends him in motion out of the backfield on 2nd down. Short drop, has time, sets, throws over the middle. Ooh, he had Owens. And timing mishap there, throws it behind him. Incomplete, 3rd and 5 coming up. And he had him.
Yeah, and this is unfortunate if you're the Lakers as well from the standpoint. This is probably the first passing play where the protection set up the way you wanted it, and the throw was able to come out on time, on rhythm, and it was just, I don't know if it was just missed spot. The route was maybe just off, and it kind of had a wobble to it too. It almost had a duck feel to it. So it's like the first time you get everything set up the way you want it, the execution's not there. So here we are in 3rd down yet again.
Yeah, here we go, 3rd and 5. Play clock down to 5. They got to go here. There's 2 running backs in the backfield for GVSU. Schuster takes the snap. They're going to hand it off to the boundary again. Jones can't turn it upfield, and he's in trouble. No gain, and more than likely the Lakers will punt this football away, trying to catch the Cardinals napping there with the run game, and there was just nothing there.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that you're starting to see too is familiarity, right? This is one of the things that once you get into GLIAC play, these teams see each other so much. So the preparation for what you're going to do to try to defend them gets that much more important. And it's that much more important for the offenses to execute. And Brandon Clayton, who runs the defense for Saginaw Valley, definitely knows what he needs to do to take that run game away. And the Cardinals are doing it so far.
Hergich on to punt. Play clock down to 2. There's a snap. Not much of a rush. End over end kick. Fair catch is signal. That ball is going to check up nicely, and it's fielded around the 5-yard line by the long snapper. What a job by Hergich as we keep it here. That wedge shot, very effective for him.
Is that a Brian Fongers 9-iron that we saw there?
That was beautifully done.
You can't pinpoint it, but boy, you can back them up real nice, huh?
That thing checked up right at the 2-yard line, and like I said, long snapper for GVSU. That's Saccone able to chase it down and field it around the 5-yard line. Now for GVSU defensively, you want to try and force a 3 and out here.
Absolutely, and realistically, this is the first time all game that Saginaw Valley's had field position that isn't very favorable. So it'll be interesting to see how aggressive they are in calling plays here.
Well, they're going to go empty. Mason McKenzie alone in the gun. Little orbit motion. Fakes the jet sweep on the quarterback keeper. McKenzie with good yardage, able to plow his way close to a first down. Big hole off the right side there. Maybe that jet sweep action may have faked out the GVSU defense.
Well, this is the type of what you're trying to do there. Is that Budden, I think that was coming upfield. You're trying to put him, it's Kamani Potts. You're trying to put that defensive end in conflict, right? And he kind of went towards Brown, and that's McKenzie's job at that point is to pull it out of his belly and keep it and get upfield and get what you can out of it.
Second and short. Handoff. Jamerson, I don't know. Tried to spin off the tackler. I don't think he got it. Needed a full yard. He got a half yard. So now it's 3rd and a half yard coming up.
The spot's got to be touching the 15 for them to move the sticks here. And the line judge definitely came running in well inside of that yard stripe. So big play for both teams here. Cardinals trying to keep their offense on the field, and the Lakers trying to see if they can win the field position battle and force a punt from deep in the Cardinal end.
Well, here's what the Cardinals are doing. They brought an extra offensive lineman out there. They're going really heavy. A lot of confusion here. Play clock down to 5. Jamerson, the running back, to the left of McKenzie on 3rd and inches, and Saginaw Valley State's got to burn another timeout. Boy, there was all sorts of communication problems. McKenzie was talking to Jamerson. I don't think they were on the same page at all. So they're down to 1 timeout for the half.
Well, and in the first half, that's probably not as big of an impact as you might be worried about in a tight game in the second half. But yeah, this is another instance where in a very short yardage kind of jumbo situation, we've seen the Cardinals just not look as put together as you think they might be. And definitely, even though they did the double swinging gate on that goal to go that they had on a couple possessions ago, it was still just kind of disjointed. It didn't seem like they really were committed to what they were going to try and do on it. So yeah, burning a timeout here. Sometimes you just got to take your medicine and come back out and really try and execute.
So here we go again. 3rd and a half yard for the Cardinals. Heavy personnel is out there. Now they've split McKenzie all the way to the sideline. I think they have another quarterback in. I think they do. Receiver comes in motion. Quarterback draw, and he didn't get it. GVSU swallows him up for a yard loss, and that was another quarterback in for Saginaw Valley State. Tony, who do you have there?
Well, that's Matt Vaughn, and Nick Patterson is who we would have expected to come in a situation like that. And we can talk more about him at some point later in the broadcast. So Vaughn is not somebody we had on our radar as coming in to make that play, but the Lakers sure did. Obviously, they gummed that up really well. And so now this is the 2nd or 3rd time that we've seen the Cardinals in super short yardage try and just run right at Grand Valley and not succeed in doing it.
So they had 2nd and a yard, and they couldn't get a yard on the next 2 downs. Here's the punt. Low line drive kick, a sidewinder. Lynn Weichel will just let it roll. And this ball is going to sidewind its way around the 40, and it's scooped up there. But GVSU gets the stop defensively, a 3 and out, and they'll get the football back at their own 39 as we go to break. Still 7-6, Battle of the Valleys in Allendale on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's life. And the point is enjoying who you share it with.
Where can you find top name brand products at low local prices? Only at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Our expert staff will work with you to select the perfect appliance, mattress, or TV that fits your lifestyle and your budget. To all the comforters, we're here for you with a source of comfort for everyone. Experience the redesigned Serta Perfect Sleeper at Nowara Brothers.
Feel the difference today and get more at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Nowara Brothers Home Store, family owned and operated since 1948.
There's regular cold, and then there's the mountains are blue cold. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette with you as we have a quarterback change for Grand Valley State. Here is the aforementioned Zach Olenizak, the 3rd quarterback used today for GVSU. We know about his feet, but he had a beautiful touchdown throw last week up at Marquette. And he'll have Sion Usma-Harper's running back to his right on this first down play. 7-6, Grand Valley State on top. The Battle of the Valleys. Here's the snap. Play action fake. Deep drop. Olenizak sets, throws. He's hit as he throws, and it falls to the turf incomplete. And on the charge there was Boive, the linebacker. He's one of the best in the country in tackles per game. And boy, if Olenizak had just another second to throw it, he had a one-on-one opportunity deep down the field.
Yeah, he sure did. But this is another play by Boive, who played several years at the University of Michigan, had actually originally committed to Saginaw Valley out of high school, got a late offer, was able to play on a national championship team in Ann Arbor, and came back for his last season. Said he really wanted to play a lot, so transferred back down to the Cardinals and has been making plays like crazy this season.
2nd and 10. It's a keeper. Olenizak to the wide side. He's strung out trying to cut it back. Just lowers the shoulder, and he goes head over heels for a yard loss. Boy, those edge plays for GVSU right now are just not there.
Well, Saginaw Valley, again, they're prepared for it. And we saw this a lot last year at Saginaw Valley. Whenever Grand Valley tried to run wide, it didn't work. So again, Brandon Clayton's the defensive coordinator, and he played at Northwest Missouri State. He knows how to run this kind of four-man crush front and take things like this away in terms of placement of players, assignments, everything else, and they're doing a great job. The Lakers are going to have to find a way to start blocking things up and maybe run at them a little bit more. That's the only thing that we've seen that's been a little bit effective in the run game.
3rd and 11. Andrew Schuster in at quarterback now. Takes the snap. Rolls to his left. Sets. Throws. Long throw. He's got Kellen Reed right at the sticks, and I think he's got the first down. I think he got it. He did by the nose of the football. What a throw by Schuster.
Well, and sometimes that's just one of those things where sometimes talent wins, and Schuster is consistently this year, even when the pressure's been heavy, we've seen his ball placement. This is a long, deep out when he had to move a little bit, and he hit Kellen right square in the chest. I mean, that's just, this is so hard to defend guys who could put the ball in the right spot every single time.
Another 3rd and long conversion for GVSU. A yard shy of midfield. Schuster still in at quarterback in the gun. Got Jolman in there. A miscommunication on the handoff in the backfield. Jolman's in trouble. Breaks away from a tackler. Now tries to cut it back. Turns it upfield. And he's got yardage close to a first down. My goodness. The play was messed up from the beginning on the handoff exchange. And I think Jolman ran 50 yards to get 9.
Yeah, well.
What more can you say there?
He's making a case to play a lot more than he has been, too, because every time he's been on the field today, he's been making plays. But again, the Grand Valley run game just still looking disjointed. It's so hard to understand exactly what is missing in that part of the game for Grand Valley offensively. Obviously, they're set up in second short, so you got the full playbook here. You got what you wanted, but boy, they had to go the long way to do it.
2nd and 1, Kellen Reed, orbit motion into the backfield. High snap, pulled in. Handoff Jolman to the short side, gets tripped up, keeps his footing, dives, and he got the first down. Again, another effort play. A Cardinal loses their helmet, no flag. And Jolman again had to do everything he could to get 2 yards and move the sticks.
Again, they ran wide. Saginaw was ready for it, and Jolman had to make one heck of a play. Now, I will say that it looked like he maybe didn't set that block up that he had when the play was first getting out wide as well as he could have, but it's really easy for me to say that from up here in the booth when I could see everything from a bird's eye view and I don't have somebody chasing me. But he figured out a way to make a play again. He's basically 4 of 4 or 5 of 5. If Jolman's been out there, he's been making plays.
From the Cardinal 40, Schuster with Usma Harper as running back. Takes the snap, deep drop, pocket hold, sets, throws on the post route, one-on-one. Defenders all over Kellen Reed. Incomplete, there's the flag. It was thrown by the far side back judge down the Saginaw Valley State sideline. Should be pass interference.
Yeah, DJ Volz was on the coverage here, and he was doing one heck of a job. Just got a little aggressive coming over the top to try and make a play on the ball. But this is one where, again, boy, you'd like to see Schuster.
Pass interference. Defense, number 13, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Yeah, actually, there was a lot of grabbing going on that we couldn't see from up here at game speed. But that's one, too, where he's covered. And I know Schuster really believes Kellen Reed can either get that step eventually or make that contested catch. You almost wonder if that's when does he look somewhere else or even just throw the ball away, because that's a dangerous situation that he put the ball into. But it sets the Lakers up at the 25.
Yeah, 1st and 10 here. Usma Harper to the left. Schuster on the snap. Play action fake. Sets, throws. Kellen Reed's open on the out route. He's by the defender, and he's able to squeeze his way past the defender into the end zone for a Laker touchdown.
So here's an example of why on the play before you think Schuster might try to shove it into a situation that's not good. Because he's coming out of his break, and Reed falls down on this route and is still able to get up and get himself back free to collect the pass and make a play to get into the end zone. When you got athleticism like that, sometimes you just got to let it do what it does, and the Lakers have stretched it out here to try and make it an 8-point game if they can get the PAT.
2 passing touchdowns now for Andrew Schuster in this ball game. Here's Basic's extra point. It's up and it's blocked. Look out, this can be returned for 2, and it might be. Down the sideline, no one's going to catch him. Trying to give effort is Basic, but he's not going to get there. It's going to be returned for 2 all the way back by Sean Hodges. The defensive back out of Detroit, a Cass Tech product, takes the block, and Coach Wooster for GVSU all year has been saying we have to block better on extra points.
Saginaw
and it was just right up the middle.
Grand Valley will kick off. Media timeout.
That's just I don't know what to say about that one, guys. It's something they're trying to fix, and they obviously haven't.
Well, we'll collect our thoughts and take a break. Instead of it being a 14-6 game, it's 13-8 Grand Valley State. We'll take a break. Back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Honey? But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, Penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo in a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
Before the fall. Before the new routine. Before the exam. The cast. The all clear. And the expiration date. You need confidence. And for 85 years, Michigan has trusted Blue Cross to be there, ready to help.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette back with you here inside Lubbers Stadium. Battle of the Valleys, Grand Valley State. Another passing touchdown, 25-yard connection, Andrew Schuster to Kellen Reed. However, the extra point was blocked, returned the other way for 2 by the Cardinals. That's why you see this scoregami type of score right now, 13-8 Grand Valley State. We saw on the sideline Scott Wooster, former offensive lineman, and O-line coach Brad Bez for GVSU. Let's just say it nicely, giving their 2 cents to the offensive line.
Well, and Coach Wooster came to Grand Valley as the offensive line coach. So, yeah, I mean, if there's anything that's going to bother him, it's stuff like that.
Here's the kick around the goal line. The return is going to let it drop in play, and then it takes one hop just across the goal line. Almost a dangerous play there into the end zone for a touchback, and the Cardinals will get it at their own 25. So if you're Saginaw Valley State, touchdown here gives you the lead again.
Yeah, and you have to look at it through the lens, too. If you're Saginaw Valley State, I mean, we're looking at the stats here. They've run 17 total plays for 41 yards. I mean, they had a couple of short fields. They've taken advantage of some good field position, got a bomb of a field goal in there. But realistically, they haven't moved the ball all that well, and still here they are in the game. And save giving up a ton of third and longs, they've really defended Grand Valley pretty well here as well. So if you're Ryan Brady, you're thinking to yourself, okay, we haven't statistically looked all that great, but we're doing a good job, and we're only down 5.
McKenzie, delayed quarterback draw up the middle. He's got a massive hole, and there he goes into the secondary, and he surges his way close to midfield. He faked looking to the edge for the bubble screen and just darted right up the chute for a chunk play at 25 yards.
Boy, and sometimes when you got players like this, you just say, okay, let's just keep this as simple as possible. Let's just get some backside trap going and give Mason a room and some room to run and just let him take off. He's one of the players that's the most dangerous on that Saginaw team. That's the first time we've really seen him show the speed in the open field today.
Going tempo, short drop, a delayed blitz, back shoulder throw, and it was kind of a fadeaway jump shot, too. Looking for his big tight end down the seam. It's incomplete, out of his reach, second down, and he took a pop, did McKenzie.
Yeah, there was a direct blitz that came, and I didn't catch the number of who came in on that blitz for Grand Valley State. My hunch is that it was Isaiah Johnson who came from that right side, and he came in untouched and just laid McKenzie out. So even though McKenzie got the ball away and there was an incomplete pass, boy, he took some punishment out of that play, that's for sure.
So 2nd and 10 right at midfield. Lakers showing that patented edge pressure. Jim Lewis, the defensive coordinator, loves to show pressure, and Saginaw Valley State's got to burn their last timeout of the first half. With 6 and some change remaining in the first half, we'll keep it here. But I mentioned Jim Lewis, the longtime defensive coordinator for Grand Valley State. He's very multiple. He's very unique. You think that every play they're going to show edge pressure and blitz off the edges, but he does a really good job disguising coverages.
Yeah, he absolutely does, and that's one of the things that he kind of prides himself on in the Lakers, who've made it into pro camps. You've seen interviews with some of the coaching staffs, like even Ian Kennelly, spent some time with the Lions here going into this season. And that staff, those staffs are always amazed at how much these Lakers know when they get to that next level in terms of, boy, they understand where to bring pressure and how to disguise it, how and when to actually move pre-snap to keep that mystery around what it is that you're actually going to try and do. And a lot of that's due to Coach Lewis and the coaching that they get.
So again, the Cardinals, no timeouts left in this first half. GVSU has a couple in their pocket. Little orbit motion into the backfield on 2nd down. Delayed quarterback draw like the first play. McKenzie able to blast his way for 4, close to 5. They'll set up 3rd down. We'll call it 6. They give him 4 yards to the GVSU 46. Again, same play like the first play where he got 25 yards.
Yeah, and ultimately you think to yourself, geez, why don't they just do that every play? It seems to be effective. You don't want your quarterback to take that many hits over the course of a game, especially against some of these upper-level defenses within the GLIAC. The level of physicality is just so heavy. You're going to beat the kid up, and he's not going to be able to make it through the whole season. So you got to be judicious about how often you call that number.
3rd and a short 6. Blitz. Rolling to his left after getting flushed out. McKenzie, wild throws. He takes another hit. It's over the head of his receiver. Incomplete, looking for Braden Hill. And it's going to bring up 4th down and 6. And what does Ryan Brady do? You would assume he would play the field position game.
Yeah, I know it's a short 6, but yeah, it's a hard to, even though you're on the plus side of the field, if it was 1 or 2, maybe. 6 seems to be a little bit of a lot to ask, especially with so much difficulty that they've had in short yardage. Great job by Torian Wyatt, too, on keeping his line clean against McKenzie, to not let him get outside and make him throw it away versus keep it and try and get around the edge to get upfield.
Tell you what, Torian Wyatt has quietly had a really good year defensively for GVSU. Again, here's that 2-punter look. They snap it back, and here is a sidewinder kick that tucks inside the pylon. It's another touchback. And Lenderink could not pin GVSU deep. The Lakers will get it at their own 20, holding on to this handful lead, 13-8.
So that 2-punter look, where Ryan Brady in his coaching arc, and you talk about how he was on staff at Grand Valley in his early coaching career. He spent several years up in Big Rapids on Tony Anese's staff at Ferris State. And over the years, if you watched, Ferris employs that 2-punter kind of thing every so often as well. So, as you go through the different coaching trees, you pick up all those influences as you move your way up into your own positions, and it's something that obviously Coach Brady liked, and he keeps using it every so often. We've seen that from them throughout the years that he's been there.
Brady Drogosh in at quarterback, has Pascal Jolman to his right on 1st down. Hands it off to Jolman to the boundary. And Jolman is wrapped up, spun backwards. I don't know if the Saginaw defenders knew exactly who had the football. That was kind of a slow developing play. Jolman gets just a yard to the 21. Well, I tell you what, if Drogosh keeps that football, he had a lot of turf on the back end.
Yeah, well, and on that backside, usually they're not doing a straight call. It's the quarterback's job to read the defensive end, right? If he stands up and stays home, he's got to give it. And if he goes with the back, then he pulls it back out and goes around behind him. So he must have seen enough from that end to think that he was going to stay home. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, but again, it's the same type of setup that we were talking about for Saginaw Valley as well.
Schuster back into the game. Derek Woods, the running back, motions out. On the drop back, bobbing, setting, throwing. Great catch off his shoe tops. Kellen Reed on a drag route. And he's ushered out of bounds across the 25 to around the 27, 3 yards short. It'll bring up a third and manageable here for GVSU. We'll call it 3.
Well, and the protection was good until it wasn't on this play. And so it was a great catch by Reed, because this ball came out very wobbly and low trajectory, because Schuster was getting hit as he delivered it. But again, that's that same right side of the Grand Valley offensive line that seems to be having a hard time of holding onto that protection as long as it can through the plays. That's where the pressure that is disruptive seems to keep coming from.
2 running backs in the backfield. Schuster on 3rd and short. They'll hand it off short side. Derek Woods turns it upfield, diving, reaching. Did he get it? I don't think so. He is inches short. Maybe a full yard, depending on where the football is spotted. And it looks like Scott Wooster will send the punting unit on. They need about 3/4 of a yard.
Yeah, you're just too deep in your own end in a 1-score game. Your defense really has played pretty well. The only times that Saginaw Valley has really cashed in on you is when they've had short fields. Don't take the risk of giving them another one, I'm sure is what they're thinking.
Hergich on to punt again. Play clock down to 5. Here's the snap. Right to Hergich. Booming kick. Look at this bomb. A spiral inside the 20. It's fielded there by Hill. Hill, middle of the field, and he gets a big shot before he reaches the 25-yard line. Boy, he took an absolute lick there, and he's a little slow to get up.
Yeah, Keegan Sell down there on the punt coverage team got a good lick in on him. And when you're one of those young guys coming up, right, and you're not playing on the 2 platoons for offense and defense, and you get your chances on special teams, that's the exact kind of play you want to make, man. Keeps you in the game, keeps you fired up, and can sometimes be a charge to your team back on the sidelines, too, when they see you lay the wood to somebody like that.
Well, here's the note to keep an eye on. Saginaw Valley State does get the football to start the second half. They won the toss, deferred to the second half, so this is a potentially huge momentum-swinging drive here late in the first half. The Cardinals have no timeouts. They do have the 2-minute timeout on first down. Little pop pass to Terrence Brown, and he's able to get blockers down the left sideline and get to the edge, and he's able to scamper his way for a first down across the 40-yard line.
And this is a great example of why they want to try and get him the ball any way they can. You saw him once he was able to get around that corner, so explosive getting upfield. He's definitely the playmaker that the Cardinals have. The Lakers have done a pretty decent job of not letting him get into too big of a play so far, but he's definitely made him pay a couple of times.
And the snap almost didn't get to McKenzie, and he's in trouble, and he's snowed under for a couple-yard loss. And I don't know what happened there. If the football just hit the backside of the center, it got to McKenzie, but very slowly.
It seemed like, well, and it had a trajectory that you wouldn't normally. It looks like it was flipping as it got to him instead of, kind of that little bit of a spiral. So, yeah, it must have the center must have nicked his own fanny as that was coming back towards McKenzie. But he did a good job of corralling it, and because to lose 2 on that play, that could have been a whole lot worse.
This will probably get us to the 2-minute timeout, and it will, as Torian Wyatt, another tackle on that 2-yard loss. And there's the 2-minute timeout, so we'll pause as well. 13-8 Grand Valley State late in the first half. We're back from Lubber Stadium after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Grit, determination, dedication. All the things you would find in a champion. In other words, all the things you would find in a Laker. The 616 is the home of the Lakers. It's where champions are built. We need to help shape our next chapter. Are you ready to make an impact? Are you ready to join our team? Support GVSU athletics today. Anchor up.
Before the first whistle, we're already in motion. We move more than athletes. We move belief. Because when the moment matters most, so does the ride. While others promise, we prepare. The difference isn't what you see. It's what you never have to worry about. Go right way. Moving what matters.
Two minutes to go in the first half. Battle of the Valleys. Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette. Low-scoring affair so far. 13-8 Grand Valley State. Saginaw Valley State with a 2nd and 12 at their own 38 with no timeouts left in the half. McKenzie, the quarterback, takes the snap. Sets, throws, behind Brown. He pulls it in, escapes one tackler, and he's pushed out of bounds by Barnett. About 4 yards shy of a first down. The clock will stop completely. Now, after every first down under 2 minutes in each half, the clock stops momentarily if you're in bounds. This time he was out of bounds.
Big play here. Holy smokes.
For both sides.
That's
again.
Right. That's right.
If you missed it before we went to the 2-minute timeout, Saginaw Valley State does get the football to start the second half.
If you're Grand Valley, you don't want them to go 2 for 1 on you. And obviously from there is, hey, get a stop, try to get the ball back, see if you can't get some points for yourself.
Mason McKenzie running back to his left. Here comes pressure off the edge. Flush to his right, sidestepping one tackler, and he escapes. And he's got the first down as he runs out of bounds into Laker territory at the 45. Oh, Kamani Potts had a shot, and he missed.
He sure did. Just barely missed him. But, hey, when you're dealing with an athlete like McKenzie, he's going to find a way to make you miss, and he did. And, boy, you're right. Potts just missed getting him on the ground for a sack. Here he came off that left side, and we kind of just see the tail end there.
Well, the Cardinals on the move. Their offense has come by way of a pair of field goals and a blocked extra point returned for 2 after a Laker touchdown. On first down, McKenzie with a 4-man rush, steps up, throws over the middle, and a great grab is made on the run before taking a shot, but he gets a first down, and he points to everybody, indicating that he got it, is Zach Zielinski, a redshirt freshman, and here come the Cardinals on the move. From the Laker 28, looking to regain the lead late in the first half on a quick snap. A little out route diving attempt is made, and it's caught inbounds by Hill. Only a 2-yard pickup. 90 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, the Cardinals are now tight enough where they've got plenty of time here, so they don't need to hurry, but they just don't want to be wasteful of the time either, having no timeouts at all.
2nd and 8. On the snap, here comes the blitz. Stepping up, in trouble is McKenzie, and down he goes. 3rd sack of the game. Involved on the sack for GVSU. Derek Rude was in there, amongst others. Clock maneuvers under a minute. It's 3rd and long.
That's either the 3rd or the 4th sack that the Lakers have had today. And with a quarterback like McKenzie, sometimes just getting him on the ground is the biggest challenge. And for the most part, they've done a good job of that.
Down to 45 seconds. 3rd and 15. McKenzie steps into it, throws. He's got a man wide open. Brown, first down, maybe. I think he got it by a yard with 38 seconds. They went zone coverage that time, and they beat him.
Yeah, and that's not something you see from the Lakers very often. They tend to be strictly a man outfit. Brown just found himself that soft spot, was able to get himself the first down, and then got out of bounds to stop the clock.
The secondary member for the Lakers shaken up. Keep it here. So the Cardinals in the red zone. They had a lead early in the game of 3-0. Like I said, their offense has come in, I guess you could say, unique ways with those 2 field goals. One being a 53-yarder.
Yep.
And that blocked extra point returned for 2.
No, when like we talked about a couple of possessions ago, their yards per play was down in that 2.5 range throughout most of the first half. This is the first real deep penetration that they've had on their own with a good drive where they've kept the Lakers off balance and been able to convert difficult situations. So this is a great drive for Saginaw Valley here to close out the first half.
Trey Green was shaken up for the Lakers. He walks back to the sideline under his own power. But it's a first down for Saginaw Valley State. Now the Cardinals, they do have time in case the ball stays in bounds to clock it.
Yep.
Save some time that way.
Yeah, they're tight enough. They're at the high red zone. The full playbooks here. They could run the ball here if they wanted to. But they've been moving it well via the air, so I'm not sure if they would do that here or not.
On the snap, edge pressure. McKenzie steps up, hit as he throws, corner route out of the reach of Brown, incomplete. The pressure didn't get there. He had time to get it to him as
the pressure is everything. Brian, this is one of the things that defensive coordinators preach, because that pressure got that ball. Watch this on the replay here as McKenzie's just being moved off his spot that little bit, and the ball was wide of Brown coming out of his break on that out pattern. If he stands in there and is able to deliver the ball he wants, I bet that's a touchdown. But that hit just threw it off just enough to keep the Cardinals off the scoreboard.
Derek Rude creating havoc again for GVSU on 2nd and 10. McKenzie out route, complete Hill, out of bounds, late flag as we had a Cardinal offensive lineman go over the top of a GVSU defender, and it's going to go against Saginaw Valley State for unsportsmanlike conduct or a personal foul. That's just something. Ryan Brady, the head coach, he's not going to be too happy. Big number 76 for Saginaw Valley State. Got caught doing too much extracurricular.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 76, 15-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
So that's going to move it, Tony, all the way back to the 32-yard line.
Just such a huge penalty. Like we talked about, best drive of the day, and you just have that momentary lapse of keeping your composure, and now it sets your team way back. Now, okay, they're still in a good spot here to at least get some points. But, again, now your playbook is cadets. You know they're going to throw it. So now the Laker back end's really going to have to step up on this.
That was David Anchando, the guilty party with the personal foul. So now it's 2nd and 25. Here comes a blitz. McKenzie, out route, open as Hill, out of bounds, around the 23.
Yep, and if you're Grand Valley, you'll take that, right? That's a deep out, difficult throw, has to come out early, and you keep everybody in front of you. It's still going to be 3rd and really, really long. That penalty had a huge impact on things. Cardinals are still in great spot to get points here, but boy, they really felt like they had the momentum and were really just having a shot to be able to move it into the end zone. That's going to be a lot tougher from this spot.
3rd and a country mile for the Cardinals. They need a first down at the 7. Again, no timeouts. Lakers showing edge pressure. Here they come. McKenzie in trouble. Down he goes again, and the clock's going to move. They can't spike it either because it's 4th down. You're down to 10 seconds. Here comes the chaotic field goal unit. Lendrick's the kicker. Will they get the snap off? It's down to 5. It's going to be a 54-yard kick. 3 seconds, 2. They just get it off. Here's the low line drive kick. It's not even close. It's no good. The Laker defense holds again as we hit halftime.
Boy, that penalty was so huge, and we talked about it as the play was happening, but you saw it open itself up there again. The sack on 3rd down for the Lakers almost puts Saginaw Valley far enough back where they might not have even tried it. They probably had to, because what other are they going to do on 4th down other than line up and take a Hail Mary?
We got a flag down. Hold on a second. Now, the back judge threw this. Is there too many men on the field? That's my only thought process, is somebody had too many men on the field. Nobody saw the flag till about 10 seconds ago.
Right? I mean, it was well after they had waved it off and teams were starting to leave the field. But it looks like it's on Grand Valley because everybody's going back to the sidelines.
We'll have to see
on a defensive penalty.
If we can count how many Lakers were on the field, if we can get a replay or a still shot, here comes the call. Massive call.
Illegal substitution, defense, 12 players on the field, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, replay 4th down.
So it's an untimed down. It's going to make it a 49-yard kick for Lendering.
Please reset the game clock to 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
They're going to put 6 seconds on the clock. Here's the replay. Yeah, they had 12 guys.
Okay, but I'm baffled as to why there would be 6 seconds.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
This isn't a foul that stops the clock, number one.
Well, now the ball, well, they pushed it up even, well, my math was incorrect. It's going to be a 41-yard kick. It went from a 54-yard attempt to a 41-yard
exactly. I thought
kick.
That was only a 5-yard penalty.
And Scott Wooster is going to try and ice the kicker.
Charge
That's
Grand Valley.
That's a misstep, too, by the officiating crew. They pushed it up 13 yards. From a 54-yard kick to now a 41-yard kick.
Yeah, this is baffling. The officials keep time on the field, right? So there could be a small differential between what we see on the clock and what they have. But normally, if there's that big of a disparity, at some point during a break, they'll make an adjustment to it. And they didn't do anything like that so far throughout this second quarter. So again, how do you end up with 6 seconds back when that snap went with 1, maybe 2 left? It was clean. It happened before the clock hit zeros, but it wasn't anywhere near 6. So I'm extremely confused by that. The idea of an untimed down, that I get, but the idea that they put time back on the clock is the adjudication of that doesn't make any sense unless there's something about the rule that I'm missing that I may not know. But beyond that, you're right. How they got basically 13 yards of field position instead of 5, that I can't understand. And the idea that Coach Wooster hasn't said anything about it makes me curious as well.
Well, here's the 41-yard kick for Lendering. He's 2 for 2 on the afternoon, looking to go 3 for 3, and challenge flag by Coach Wooster. So he is going to, because we're right next to the GVSU coaching staff. Tony, I could hear him pounding on the desk next door to us.
Yeah, they must be looking at the replays and figuring out what the heck they're trying to message they're trying to get down to Coach Wooster. But I don't know how they're going to be able to justify this. The idea that they don't bring this ball back 8 yards to then do the kick. But again, obviously there could be something we don't know.
This has to be a challenge on the spot of the ball, because
I don't know what else you would challenge.
Unless my sight has gone bad, that was a 13-yard advantage on that penalty.
The ball was not ready for play. 4th down.
Oh, so they're saying now wait a minute, he can't challenge it now? Oh, Scott Wooster, he's not happy. I think he's saying, he's trying to challenge the spot of the football. Tony and I are trying to collect our thoughts ourselves here. This is something I haven't seen in my short broadcasting career doing GVSU football games. Apparently,
Grand Valley is challenging the previous spot. The previous play is under review.
Okay.
So they will let him challenge it. So again, as a reset, we'll see if we can get the boys in the truck to go back to that sack.
Correct.
Where the ball was spotted after the sack, to determine where the football should be spotted after that 5-yard penalty from GVSU.
Correct. And you normally think of the field goal operation as being roughly 8 yards. Sometimes it's 7. In this instance, perhaps just because everything was happening so fast, it might have been off by a yard or so. But that's a reliable number to start thinking of, is either 7 or 8 yards. So if he kicked it from the 43 or 44-yard line, that means that snap would have come from roughly the 36, 37, 38, somewhere in that range. And they were up, at the 29?
Yeah.
Or no, they were actually even further up.
24.
Yeah.
24-yard line.
That's a complete mystery. Now look where they've spotted it here. Even this is inaccurate.
31-yard line. So that's
and I still don't understand why they put time back on the clock.
I don't either.
The clock ran out. It should have been 1 untimed down. That's it.
It was a very fast review.
The previous spot was the 36-yard line. The ball has been properly relocated. Grand Valley will not be charged for the challenge.
Well, he just said the 36, but the ball's on the 31.
Well, they took off the 5 yards. So they said he was sacked at the 36.
Correct.
To the 31.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think we're good now. So now it's going to make it.
Forgive my lack of math acumen there, Brian.
This should make it, 48 yards, the field goal attempt?
48 or 49, yeah.
Yep.
If my
Man, have we seen it all here in the last 5 minutes.
My goodness. Well, now what are they doing?
Now they're moving it back to the 36. Oh, now back to the 31. Folks, we haven't seen anything like
look,
this.
He's going to try and mark this off again. They're making the same mistake all over again.
Yeah,
the penalty needs to be adjudicated 5 yards from the 36. This is still incorrect.
Yes, they only moved it back 2 yards.
No, so he was standing at the 31. He looked like he was going to mark it off against Saginaw Valley. He just said 36. So if the last snap was at the 36 and they mark off 5 yards, they had it right. It should be at the 31.
Well, originally, before all this,
my goodness,
weirdness went on, they had it at the 24, now the 31, 26, now the 31. Now we're good.
I think this is correct.
Yes, this
but
should
it sure
be correct.
took a Keystone Cops operation to get us here.
Well, here's the thing. The Cardinals are thinking about putting the offense back on the field with 6 seconds. No, now they're going to rush the field goal unit on the field.
My goodness.
This is, and Jim Lewis, the defensive coordinator, is halfway on the field. He's trying to match Saginaw Valley what they're doing. So here's Lendery. This is going to be from 49 yards out. Crowd making some noise. Snap is a good one. Hold this down. Kick is up. End over end. And he got it. And we got a lot of pushing and shoving after the whistle here. There's no time on the clock. It's now 13-11. And oh boy, you got to get the teams back to the locker room. There are no flags on the field. I guess this is what the rivalry is all about. But the Cardinals are feeling like they've got all the momentum, down by 2, and they'll get the football to start the second half. Tony, your first half thoughts. Do you have any?
I may have just exuded all of them as we were trying to implore the officials to get the spot right. But, yeah, hey, look, this is a game where if you look at it statistically, Grand Valley's had the better of it. But if you're Saginaw Valley, you got to feel like you've controlled certain aspects of this game, and you could continue to do it in the second half, being only down 2 despite the yardage deficit. Not a big deal. So this should be an exciting second half for us.
13-11. Who had that halftime score on their bingo card? We'll take a break, come back with more halftime coverage here from Lubber Stadium. It's the Battle of the Valleys on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Are you planning a group event, a business trip, family reunion, club, or church outing? Would you rather take 20 cars or 1 motor coach? Less is more with Cardinal Buses. More relaxing, more comfortable, more economical, and more earth-friendly. Let Cardinal Buses show you how easy they can get you there. Get on board, sit back, and relax. Cardinal Buses will take care of tolls, traffic, and parking so you can just have fun. You do the math. 20 cars or 1 motor coach? Cardinal Buses. There's no better way to go.
Honey?
But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo in a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
In West Michigan, true strength comes from within our neighborhoods. From businesses lending a hand to dedicated nonprofits, 8 West is proud to live local and give local. These are the stories of commitment, compassion, and the power of giving back right here in our own backyard. Discover the spirit of generosity that makes West Michigan so special. Don't miss Live Local, Give Local each week on 8 West, proudly supported by Firekeepers Casino Hotel.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Number 7, Grand Valley State 13, Saginaw Valley State 11. And like I said, Tony, as we went into break to kick off our halftime coverage, who had this on their scoregami card?
Yeah, well, I did. You might be calling the game by yourself the rest of the way, because I'm exhausted after the last 2 minutes of game action and trying to figure out what on earth the officials were thinking. And it's not that they necessarily were making a horrible call. It's just how they were trying to adjudicate what happened on that initial field goal attempt by Saginaw Valley. We talked to one of our producers here in the early break, and we still don't think in terms of like how they managed the clock and everything else. I still don't think they got it right.
Yeah. Well, let's go through some first half highlights, because there were some as we're looking at the stats here, but here's Andrew Schuster. Had a really good first half passing the football, but Saginaw Valley State really got after Grand Valley State defensively early.
Yeah, and like I say, Saginaw probably had the better of it early going too. They forced the 3 and out for Grand Valley on their first possession. Got a good drive, was able to get down, didn't get too deep into Laker territory, and kicked a bomb of a field goal to take that early lead. And we've seen Grand Valley do a real good job in passing situations. And we saw the sack by Cardamone there of keeping McKenzie contained. I think the Lakers have 4 sacks already, and that's because they haven't been able to let him escape in those passing situations and kept that pocket tight.
As we saw the 3-0 field goal from Saginaw Valley State, here's that screen pass. Pascal Jolman was able to escape his way down the sideline into the end zone to make it 7-3 Grand Valley State. He's been a nice, I guess you could say, surprise in the running back room for GVSU this year. Pretty much a touchdown a game. Saginaw Valley State, Mason McKenzie, to your point, Tony, kind of running for his life on certain downs and situations, sacked 4 times, but here was a big play special teams-wise for the Cardinals.
Yeah, the turnover here on that punt when Grand Valley had gotten a good stop, thought they were to get the ball back in good field position, and the penalty for the Lakers for that running into the kicker. The Saginaw Valley kicked it again and was able to get the turnover off of that return, and that short field led to more points for the Cardinals.
Yeah, short field goal made it 7-6, and Andrew Schuster, yeah, he had some times where he was under duress, but he was able to find some good chunk plays in the pass game. There's a nice completion to Kenyon Owens, and eventually he would find Kellen Reed right here open, got away from the defender, and like you said on that touchdown play, he slipped, got back to his feet, but here's a big momentum swinging play on the extra point.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that, watching Grand Valley throughout this season so far that you've seen that just continues to be mystifying is how they can't be buttoned up, because this is not the first time we've seen a place kick blocked, and this time it cost them not only the point they were trying to get, but a couple points the other way.
So here's the end of the half situation after a review, a lot of conversations, another field goal by their kicker, Tegan Lendrick, who's making a big bid for GLIAC Special Teams Player of the Week. He's 3 for 3 on field goals, and that's the Saginaw Valley State offense. Again, they get the ball to start the second half, only down by 2, looking for their first win in Allendale since 2003. Again, 13-11, Grand Valley State at the half. More halftime coverage after this timeout here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Do you know who the president is?
I don't know who the president is.
Look at all the stuff you've got.
Yeah. Welcome to the 2025 GVSU Laker Kickoff.
You have the ability to make it your own, whatever you choose, and we will support you. You are now a part of the Laker family.
University of Michigan Health West is here to help you stay in the game. No matter what kind of athlete you are, the region's premier sports medicine program is here to help you stay on the move. With decades of experience in sports medicine care at 5 of our health centers, our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
Are you planning a group event, a business trip, family reunion, club, or church outing? Would you rather take 20 cars or 1 motor coach? Less is more with Cardinal Buses. More relaxing, more comfortable, more economical, and more earth-friendly. Let Cardinal Buses show you how easy they can get you there. Get on board, sit back, and relax. Cardinal Buses will take care of tolls, traffic, and parking so you can just have fun. You do the math. 20 cars or 1 motor coach? Cardinal Buses. There's no better way to go.
Before the fall, before the new routine, before the exam, the cast, the all clear, and the expiration date, you need confidence. And for 85 years, Michigan has trusted Blue Cross to be there, ready to help.
As we continue our halftime coverage, Battle of the Valley style in Lubber Stadium, Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette. And a lot going on. We mentioned the 2005 National Championship football team was honored after the first quarter, and also they are honoring the 2025 Hall of Fame class, and there is former Laker running back great Michael Tennessee.
Looks like he might be able to still play.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was, about that fit?
You know,
I think I'm older than he is now that I think about it, so I guess I've already failed that edict. Doggone it.
So just a great weekend all around with it being a blackout kids day. The weather has held up to this point, knock on wood, hope that's the case. But let's go through the first half stats here, Tony, while we have a moment.
Well, we talked about how the third down conversions were so huge. So 4 for 7, definitely a higher percentage. But what that stat doesn't tell you is the situational aspect of those third downs. There were at least 3 of them that were 3rd and 14, I believe, or longer that the Lakers converted. So that's huge. I think the other thing, yards per play, you can see Grand Valley has been more consistently productive offensively, even on converting those long third downs. But the part that we're still trying to wait and see when is it going to look like Grand Valley is the run game. That 33 yards, I believe, is on 17 carries. So you're at just under 2 yards a pop. That is just not going to get it done, and I know Coach Wooster and Coach Shoemaker know that. I know they're doing what they can to fix that, and so this isn't, a commentary other than what everybody else who watches football knows. You got to be able to run the football, and the Lakers still just haven't done it. Now you got to give some credit. Saginaw Valley, we've talked to multiple times, looked very prepared in terms of what Grand Valley wanted to do in the run game, and they did a lot to stop it. So what does Grand Valley do to try and mix things up and get that going? And if you're Saginaw Valley, all right, again, you kind of not had the better of it through all of this. You're only down a deuce, and you got the ball coming out to start the third quarter. Can they go down and get some points, take a lead, and see what kind of pressure they can put on the homestanders?
It's anybody's ball game. As we take another timeout, we'll get the halftime thoughts from head coach Scott Wooster in just a few moments. Lakers lead it by a deuce over Saginaw Valley State. Battle of the Valleys here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Grit, determination, dedication. All the things you would find in a champion. In other words, all the things you would find in a Laker. The 616 is the home of the Lakers. It's where champions are built. We need to help shape our next chapter. Are you ready to make an impact? Are you ready to join our team? Support GVSU athletics today. Anchor up.
Yeah, he sheds a little. And he barks at the mailman. But for trustworthy, nobody beats Archie. Except maybe the guys at Cool Toyota. They made me feel like part of the family the second I walked in the door. Then they gave me a great deal backed by their 10-year, million-mile warranty. Want to go for a million-mile walk, boy? Nah, I didn't think so. Wherever I'm going, I let Cool Toyota take me there.
Hey cord cutters, do you feel like you're missing out on local news and weather coverage that matters to you?
Are you tired of watching Wood TV 8 on a tiny screen?
The wait is over. Put Wood TV back on your TV.
Wood TV Plus delivers live, local content from News 8.
Accurate weather coverage from Storm Team 8.
Along with local sports and lifestyle content that you've been missing.
It's Wood TV Plus, available to download free now on your TV.
Honey?
But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo and a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
As we await head coach Scott Wooster, I see him running across the end zone right now for his halftime thoughts. Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette with you. 13-11, our halftime score. GVSU will go on defense to begin the second half. And as head coach Scott Wooster makes his way to the microphone, there he is. Christiana, take it away with Coach Wooster's halftime thoughts.
Coach, first half, really great performance defensively, held Saginaw to just 125 yards, recorded 4 sacks. How have they gotten to that caliber throughout the game?
Yeah, no, just been playing defense, and that's being us. Coach Lewis put together a great plan. Let's see what the adjustments are on the other side. But really like the way we're swarming, running the football. There's precision, and then, hey, that physicality. So love the way our defense is playing right now.
Yeah, you know how your guys can play, and you complement the offense. They're not playing to the way that you want, just 33 rushing yards. How are they going to get to the same caliber as your defense?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is we're able to get the ball down the field a little bit, but we got to be ahead of the chains to do that. And so first, second down run, get those 4s and 5s, right? Being able to push the ball down the field like we are, we just got to do that more consistently.
Thank you, Coach.
Someone who never misses a game and brings the energy.
Thank you very much, Christiana. As we're just moments away from getting second half action underway. And, you know, we talked in the pregame, Tony. You looked at the GLIAC standings. You had 4 teams that were 2-0. Mm-hmm. With the way the playoffs in the NCAA are structured or restructured this year in the Division II circuit, you win the GLIAC in the regular season, you get an automatic bid into the postseason. And for Saginaw Valley State's purposes, I know it's been a while since they beat Grand Valley State, but it's a program-turning victory or opportunity for them to possibly get here today if they're able to pull it off.
For sure, and you have to look at it through the lens of, okay, they still have to play Michigan Tech, they still have to play Ferris State, so the premise that they're going to go undefeated throughout the GLIAC, it might be tough, but they really don't have another loss to give, so they have they're 3-3 coming in, but one of those losses was against an FCS opponent.
Correct.
So in terms of the D2 resume, that doesn't count. But 2 losses, that's their limit. They kind of do need to win out, but if they don't, and they're able to beat maybe the team that they're tied with, and maybe a 7-1 at the end of the season, they could still get that berth. It would be 6-1, excuse me.
Yeah.
Again, my challenge math.
That's okay.
So that 6-1 for them still could get them in the playoffs, even though they've got the 3 losses, because they could win the league. So that's definitely the path that they have moving forward. But again, we've talked too. Ryan Brady's been building things slowly over time. Getting to that plateau where they can consistently be a playoff contender is something that they want to do. The start of this season really didn't foster that, but from here on out, they still got a chance to make that happen, and so getting a win here today is the start of it.
Coming into today, Saginaw Valley State's 3 wins were against teams that are combined 2-15 on the season. Their 3 losses, teams are combined 12-7, and I know they've had a couple of head-scratching losses, one being notably to Northeastern State, a program that has not been great recently, and then they obviously lost the backyard brawl, I'll call it, against Northwood, the battle for the Axe.
The Axe Bowl.
The Axe Bowl.
That's right.
And they also lost to, as you said, FCS New Haven, formerly a Division II school. So, yeah, they're looking for that signature victory, and they would love to get one here.
They sure would. And you know, the Northeastern State loss, definitely something in the first week of the season, that week 0 that we were all, I guess, frankly, a little surprised by. Northeastern State was a 2-win team last year. Now, they're a former MIAA team, so the brand of football played in the MIAA, as we all know, is a very physical, high caliber of football. So even though they used to be at the lower end of that conference, it's a team that's still building something, and they looked better as that last year went on. I have to admit, losing to Northwood, rivalry game, what are you going to do? They got demolished in that game. And Northwood, yeah, they've got a pretty good record on this year, but they have not looked like the team that could come out and demolish a Saginaw Valley, and yet they did it. That's what was surprising. So give credit to Coach Brady and his staff for kind of righting the ship and going, 3 out of 4 since that point.
So here we go with the third quarter. Matthew Basic set to kick it off for Grand Valley State. Here's his approach of the boot. We're underway in the second half. High end over end kick. Directional kick. Will it stay in bounds? Takes a Laker hop, but it goes out of bounds this time, and the Cardinals will get really good field position to begin the third quarter, looking for their first lead since it was 3-0.
And again, that's when the
5-yard line, first down, Saginaw
Sorry,
Valley.
I'm talking over the officials. That was a Freudian slip on my part
that's
because of what they did
Go
at
ahead.
the end of the half. So, at any rate, the Cardinals have only really done well in this game offensively when they've had good field position. So, right out of the locker room, the Lakers have already made a mistake before seconds come off the clock that gives Saginaw Valley what it wants and what they've been able to cash in on so far throughout the game.
So here comes that Cardinal offense. Mason McKenzie, you look at his stat line, it was okay.
50% completion percentage, but the 4 sacks.
Yeah, so he's taken the bulk of the snaps. He takes this first snap, short drop to late quarterback draw, right side, and he doesn't get a lot, maybe a yard. That door was shut quickly as he tried to find that crease. We do have a Lakers slow to get up here briefly. Looks like that was Kamani Potts in on the tackle. He's been active in this football game as the Cardinals are going to run some tempo on 2nd and 9. Running back, Jamerson to his left. Everyone gets settled in on 2nd and long. Hand off to Jamerson, going to that right side, and he's able to pick his way for maybe 4 yards to the 40. It's going to set up 3rd and 5 coming up for the Cardinals.
Cardinals coming right out of the locker room and showing that they're going to recommit to what they want to do in the run game. Even though at the end of the half, let's face it, it was in the pass game that they were able to get some headway in that last possession against the Lakers, but a known passing down. Be interested to see what they want to do here or what they've done to adapt to the fact that the Lakers have been able to get that kind of pressure successfully against McKenzie when he's had to stay in the pocket.
Brown goes in motion. On a rollout to his left, McKenzie squares up, throws kind of a across his body sidearm sling, and he's able to get it to his receiver who is open over the middle for a first down into Laker territory at the 45-yard line, finds Zielinski.
Yep, and there's your answer, right? Roll him out. Don't let the Lakers and what they've been able to do in the first half become a part of the equation. They rolled him out and moved that pocket, and McKenzie was able to find his guy for the first down.
Again, going tempo. Jamerson handoff, and Kamani Potts is able to pursue him on the back end and slam him down after just a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. First drive of the second half. Again, like I said, I've said it a couple of times, Saginaw Valley State opened the scoring in this game with a field goal, but GVSU's defense has done a good job throughout the game, bending at times but not breaking. Late sub checked in for the Cardinals.
And the Cards obviously, again, with that commitment to the run, they want to wear that front down. Grand Valley's got a deep
one in motion. They fake the jet sweep up the middle. There goes McKenzie on a quarterback draw, and he's able to pinball his way right at the sticks. I think he got the first down. He did, right at the 35 of GVSU.
And just that presence of Terrence Brown and the explosiveness that he showed in the first half. The Lakers paid so much attention to him there. That read option was right there for McKenzie. Great job by the Lakers. That play, the way it was opening up, looked like that could have gone for 6. It was a great job for them to keep him contained just to the 7 or 8 that he got.
So a fresh set of downs for the visitors. 3 minutes into the second half on 1st and 10. Short drop, blitz. Out of the backfield, there's Jamerson trying to shoo away from the would-be tackler, but he's spun down. Good open field tackle there after just a couple of yards.
Looked like Josh Anderson was out there on the edge.
That was Anderson making the stop. It's 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard pickup. Again, running some tempo, trying to prevent GVSU from subbing on the fly. Jim Lewis very demonstrative on the sideline, barking out the signals to his defense. From the 32 of the Lakers now, McKenzie, short drop, pump fakes, looking for the out and up to the sideline, incomplete. Josh Anderson, outstanding coverage. They were looking for that double move, and Anderson was right there.
Yeah, and they had everything overloaded to that left side, so you almost had to wonder, are they going to try and run some sort of action that way and move things back to the weak side where there wasn't anybody home? But they still went with the pump and go. Anderson did a great job. Would have loved to have seen him turn his head around and find that ball a little bit better, but I think that might have been uncatchable. It didn't look like that ball was necessarily all that accurate. A little bit overthrown anyway, and now the Lakers have got third and long to try and get the Cardinals off the field.
3rd and 7 to be exact. McKenzie takes the snap. Quarterback draw. Breaks it back right side, and he's got plenty of room. First down and more as he is able to high step his way inside the 15 to the 14. GVSU ran a blitz to that exact same side.
Yep, exactly. And so that's probably just an unfortunate, it looks almost like an unfortunate call at the wrong time, because Cardamone came on that blitz and there was nobody home. Although that could have been exactly what they were designing to, because he definitely looked left, like he wanted to throw left, maybe kept that safety held for just that little bit, and then took off to the right to the vacated area.
So from the 15, short drop, blitz, pocket holds, now it breaks down to his right, and he wildly throws it to the end zone. It's picked off! What a play! by Jason Hardy as he turned his head around at the right time, battling the receiver one-on-one coverage, and Hardy wins it for the pick.
And this one looked like it was going to be a touchdown. McKenzie had Drew Kakemeister out there in the back corner of the end zone. And you're right. Hardy just kind of fights him off. I think that's just maybe just hand fighting. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag one way or the other on that. And maybe it was just a no call based on both the defense and offense looked like they were doing some pushing. So, great job by Hardy to be able to find that football and get the pick.
Wow, Ryan Brady is screaming at the officials.
Yeah, I'd love to get another look at that at some point just to see a little bit more closely if he's really got a point or not.
But what a job there by Hardy to just battle through it.
Yeah,
you just got to play through the whistle.
Boy, and if you're Saginaw Valley, to put a great drive together like that, make some good adjustments, take the Lakers out of what they were being successful with defensively and come away with no points, boy, that's a killer.
Andrew Schuster will hand it off to Drogosh. Brady Drogosh on a little jet sweep, and not much there. That jet sweep has not worked very much, and we have a quick whistle, and I don't know why they stopped the play. The same Cardinal player that lost his bucket in the first half lost it again, so he's got to come out for a play. And he's saying, hey, guys, I got to find a way to keep my lid on.
Yeah, Isaiah Plusha. I hope I said that correctly. Have to check your handy pronunciation guide that you got there, Brian. But, yeah, we haven't seen
Plosha, yeah.
Oh, Plosha, yeah.
There you go.
Obviously, no lids for Grand Valley with their breast cancer awareness decals on. So great job by the Laker equipment staff making sure that the lids stay on.
On second down, play action fake, retreating. Schuster, long throw. What a throw and what a catch! Over a double team, Lynn Weichel with a flag in the process. I think this is going to be pass interference to boot.
Well, it's going to be against the defense. I couldn't quite see it as he came out of the break.
Holding. Defense. Number 5. The
what a throw by Schuster over the top of a defender underneath and a defender draped all over Weichel.
Yeah, we've talked ad nauseum about how the throws that Schuster makes, that's really into double coverage essentially. And Weichel's not the biggest guy on the Laker receiving core either, and was still able to fit that in there only where he could get it. The Lakers have moved it out of their own end. Let's see if they can keep the drive going.
Past the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, 1st and 10 from their own 32. Short drop Schuster. Looking, sets, throws on the drag route. He's got to complete to his big tight end. Rumbling down the sidelines. He's got a first down and more before getting pushed out of bounds. That's Harrison Unger for a dozen, maybe even more.
This is one of the things that the offensive line play is so critical for, Brian. We've been talking about the run game, but if you look at Coach Ian Shoemaker's offense, a lot of these plays, even though they're not very deep downfield, can be very slow developing. And so you saw Unger come across on that late drag, nobody near him, easy pitch and catch for a touchdown. But boy, great job by the offensive line on that play because the protection had to hold up to make it work.
From their own 46 now, Schuster slumps over. Play action fake, on the go route, one-on-one. Kellen Reed has to play defender, and he bats it away from the defensive back, incomplete. That's a really slick play by Kellen Reed to prevent an interception.
Boy, it sure was, and we've talked all the time about the great ball placement by Schuster. I think he's going to want this one back because that was definitely underthrown, and Reed did a fantastic job of knocking this one away from DJ Volt, who was in perfect position on that coverage. The only play that play works is if it's deep enough to get it over Volt's head, and it was definitely not deep enough to do that.
2nd and 10 now. Schuster claps, hands it off up the middle, and there's not much there. That's Usma Harper, and he gets spun down after no gain. Another 3rd and long situation for this Laker offense.
Back to the 3rd and longs. If you're the Lakers, you think at some point you'd get exhausted by this, but it seems to be where they've thrived so far in this game. So, and look at 3rd and long. Look who comes on the field, Pascal Jolman. So maybe they've got something cooked up that'll convert this. But boy, the Lakers had something really cooking there, and these first 2 plays after getting that first down to Unger have just kind of not gotten them very far and leaving them in a tough spot.
Need to get it to the Cardinal 44 for a first down. Schuster takes the snap. Drops back, steps up, in trouble, throws over the middle, and there's nobody in particular there. Reed was in the vicinity, kind of jumped as he threw it, incomplete, and they're going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, late blitz came off that right side and the offensive left this time. by Saginaw Valley, and it made Schuster kind of step up into the pocket in a way he didn't want to, and he just wasn't able to throw on balance. With that said, it looked like he had an underneath route short of the sticks. I don't know if it would have gotten there, but that would have been the easier throw to make. This one was definitely into some tighter coverage, and it was a very small window.
Yeah, it was Jolman out of the backfield who was open underneath. Here's Hergich on to punt. No rush. Low line drive kick. And take one hop, fielded around the 15 by Hill. Hill down the sidelines, got some blockers, and he's tripped up just shy of the 35-yard line. Good return, though, and the Cardinals get a defensive stop. And the football back around the 35, only down by 2, nearing the halfway mark of the third. Take a break. Back after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Always tracking, always alerting. And that means all morning, all afternoon, and all night. When it's sunny, when it's stormy, and when it turns severe. West Michigan's largest team of meteorologists delivers the most accurate forecasts, helping you plan your day, tracking what's on the horizon, and keeping you safe. When seconds matter, trust the team. Storm Team 8.
Honey? But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo in a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the vest.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Tight ball game here at Lubbers Stadium. Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette with you. Here in the halfway mark of the third quarter, Battle of the Valleys. 13-11, Grand Valley State. Saginaw Valley State with the football back. Drove down, which almost all the way down the football field on their first drive of the third quarter. Ended with a pick. The back of the end zone by Jason Hardy, and here comes Mason McKenzie and that offense back on the field. GVSU defensively haven't allowed a touchdown. 3 field goals and a 2-pointer, blocked extra point that was returned for 2. So defensively, they've done their job. They got to do it once again here. McKenzie takes the snap, pump fake, sets, throws over the middle. It's up in the air, off a deflection, and it's picked off. Right off the chest of the receiver for the Cardinals, and GVSU picks it off just inside the 40-yard line. Davin Pearson with the pick for the Lakers.
Boy, and if you're the Lakers, after not getting what you wanted out of the last turnover and couldn't convert that into any points and had to punt the ball away, you're thrilled to get this chance here. And this was a great throw by McKenzie. He was right on the spot, maybe just a hair behind him, and he just couldn't corral it. Tony Kennedy there was the intended receiver, and he just couldn't bring it in. And that's when you're offensive coordinator, that scares you more than a ball that just pops up in the air and sits there for a week. Because more often than not, the defense has a better chance of getting it than your guys does.
Well, GVSU almost dropped that because you had 4 Lakers fighting for the football.
Right.
From the Cardinal 39 now. If you're Saginaw Valley, you got to watch for the kill shot after a quick change scenario. Schuster, play action fake, deep drop. Retreats to his right, tries to turn it upfield. There's nobody open, and he gets crunched. It's not a sack. He actually gained a yard to the 38. There was nobody open downfield. It's 2nd and 9.
Well, and this was one where you only really had the 2 guys in the route. You had Sean Bird here on the near boundary, and it looks like Weichel was up deep. Kellen Reed didn't go super far downfield. So this is one of those situations where you're looking for your guy to win. And hey, Saginaw's secondary really has played a nice ball game today. But anytime the Grand Valley's tried to throw the ball super far downfield, they've been up to the task.
2nd and 9. Usma Harper, the running back, next to Schuster. Another play action fake, sets, throws one-on-one looking for Sean Bird, and he couldn't pull it in over the shoulder. No flag, incomplete, perfectly thrown ball, and Bird just couldn't track it down. It's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, even this was good coverage, right? But this is an instance where the ball's in the right spot. The defender can't get it. You're really looking for Sean Bird to win and make that catch. There was a lot of contact all the way downfield, but we've seen just even on Saginaw's last possession down here where they threw the pick in the end zone that the officials are kind of letting them play a little bit. So, Brendan, that's just another one that Bird's got to make that catch for you, and it sets the Lakers up in yet another 3rd and long.
3rd and 9, depending on how this down goes, might be 4-down territory. Schuster takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking, sets, throws to the sideline. It's out of the reach of Kellen Reed, incomplete. As Schuster got shoved from behind after he released the football, it's 4th and 9, and after the turnover, GVSU only gains a yard, and it looks like Coach Wooster will play the field position game.
Yeah, this is another play where the Saginaw Valley defense almost looked like they knew what was coming. I mean, they just had this play covered beautifully. You got to give credit to Brandon Clayton and his staff. They had the Cardinals ready for this game. The Lakers have gotten some stuff done, but boy, when they've needed plays like this, if they didn't get something short that turned into yardage, it really hasn't been there. That back end has done an excellent job. There was just nothing available for Schuster on that play.
Hergich looking for the coffin corner. High end over end kick. It's going to land inside the 5 where. That's outstanding coverage. Kenny Nowens drops it off to Saccone, the long snapper, and they pin him inside the 1-yard line. Trace Hergich, have yourself a football game punting the football. He's been outstanding, and the Cardinals are pinned deep inside the 1 as we go to a timeout. It's still 13-11 GVSU. This could be a big momentum swing here for either side after we come back from break here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
I could spend hours shopping, and I'd hate every minute of it. That's why I bought my Camry at Cool Toyota. I found the exact car I wanted online before even going to the dealership. Then I got a great deal backed by their 10-year, million-mile warranty. No hassles, no runaround. I may hate shopping, but I love buying. Wherever I'm going, I let Cool Toyota take me there.
Where can you find top name brand products at low local prices? Only at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Our expert staff will work with you to select the perfect appliance, mattress, or TV that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Innovation and quality are built into every GE kitchen and laundry appliance. Save big on the latest GE appliances now at Nowara Brothers.
Feel the difference today and get more at Nowara Brothers Home Store. Nowara Brothers Home Store, family owned and operated since 1948.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
Well, here we go, Tony Nicolette. My name is Brian Fongers. Saginaw Valley State pinned inside their own 1-yard line. Down by 2 in the Battle of the Valleys. Here's Mason McKenzie. Takes the snap in his own end zone. Hands it off. Jamerson dives ahead for maybe a yard. There's a lot of wrestling going on in the end zone there. No flags. 2nd and 9 after just a yard at the 2.
I wouldn't put it past Coach Grady to be aggressive in this situation.
You never know.
Even if you have to roll McKenzie out to kind of keep the pressure away from him. Because the Lakers are probably just expecting that they're going to try and see how far out from the goalpost that they can get just to give themselves some room to breathe.
Again, McKenzie in the middle of his own end zone. Takes the snap. He'll roll out to his right with plenty of time. Looking, pump fakes, throws over the middle. He's got his man, and he's got a first down. Zielinski, he's been the man in the middle at wide receiver, and he found himself open enough to move the sticks.
And this is the exact same play they ran early in that previous possession. Not the one with the pick, the drive that went all the way down there to start the second half. That was a roll to the right, throw back to Zielinski, sitting there in the middle by himself. And that's one where our defender there, the Grand Valley defender there, is going to have to hold his position and not flow too much to the ball and stay home to guard that receiver.
There's Elijah Baker. Here's another pop pass. There's Brown. Down the wide side of the field, he's able to corkscrew his way for probably 6 yards, we'll call it, to the 18. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Terrence Brown is still just kind of their go-to guy, and those little pop passes add up, and receptions are basically like a run play.
Yep.
But they're doing everything they can to get him the ball. He's had a couple of decent, 16, 18-yard plays. The Lakers have avoided the home run so far, but boy, a couple of these look real close.
On 2nd and 4, keeper McKenzie's in trouble, and he's engulfed for a big loss. What a play there defensively up front by Josh Williams. He read that one beautifully.
Well, and this is just great athleticism too, because he kind of bit on that fake, and McKenzie kept it, tried to go around him, and he just reached that big paw out there. Oh, he broke down beautifully. I take that back. He played that exactly the way he was supposed to. Shows what I know.
Well, now it went from a 2nd and 4, Tony, to 3rd and 8. What does McKenzie do here? Lakers showing just a 3-man front. But you have Jimmy Downs and Anthony Cardamone looking to come off the edges. Orbit motion in the backfield. They're looking to throw a screen, and then that thing was blown up. Jamerson wants a pass interference as he goes crashing down, and McKenzie just had to throw it in the turf, incomplete.
Well, the ball, if he's behind the line of scrimmage, they can mess with him all they want. What Mason McKenzie was wanting here was, I think it was Kamani Potts at the end of the play, kind of gave McKenzie a shove after the ball was out, and you could see the white hat had his hand on his belt. You can see it right here on the replay. He comes in, that ball's gone, just didn't need to give him that shove. The Lakers are really fortunate that they didn't get a roughing the passer call to extend the Saginaw Valley possession.
Lendrick on to punt from his own goal line. Here's the snap. Really not much of a rush. Tail dragging kick. It's going to take a sideways roll around the 42, and that's where it will be down by the Cardinals. So GVSU, after giving them a first down, they hold serve defensively. They get the ball back, still in a 2-point ball game as we keep it here.
So this is now after the turnover in the end zone, they started to deepen their own, and this is the 2nd straight possession now where Grand Valley has had really good field position. Last possession, to your point, 3 and out, only gained a yard. The Lakers are at the -42 here. This is midfield. They've got to get something going, run game or otherwise. They've got to find some way to get the ball moving forward and try and go down and get some points here.
Derek Woods, the running back, shifts over to the left hip pocket of Andrew Schuster. So ready to go. 4.5 to go in the 3rd. Schuster takes the snap. Hands it off to Woods, right up the middle, picking his way through the traffic and follows the convoy and gets good yardage close to midfield for a pickup of 7 on first down.
All right, well, so that's a little bit more about what Coach Wooster talked about at the halftime break to Christiana. Is all right, got to get some yardage going on first down to get yourself into 2nd and short.
The umpire, he was involved in the tackle there, as being an umpire in the game of football, that's a tough job. He's okay, though.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are former players too, so
here's the replay.
It's just in the blood for them. They still feel like they want to get in there and make plays themselves.
Ooh, man, that's kind of lost his footing there, and yeah, like I said, he was involved in the play. So 2nd and 3 now. Derek Woods stays in the game. Schuster observes a 4-man front defensively. Going to hand it off to Woods, left side, angling, now turns it upfield. He's got the first down as he dives ahead to the Cardinal 45-yard line. They move the sticks.
Okay, so this is a little bit of that zone, but more so of kind of just a lead action. This is one where they brought Evan Fortney kind of just in a static motion across the formation, and then he led through the hole to make sure that it was cleared out to be able to help Woods get upfield to get the first down.
Latter stages of the 3rd quarter. In a tight ball game, Battle of the Valleys. A lot of pre-snap shifting here from GVSU on 1st and 10. Derek Woods remains the running back. Schuster on the snap. Long ride play action fake. Flush to his left. Sets, throws across his body. Dangerous throw, and it's batted away. Incomplete, looking for Unger. You said it in the first half, Tony Nicolette. He who throws late over the middle usually not good news.
I did indeed. And for half a second there, Unger looked like he was open, but then Jameel Thomas was just hanging out back there and was able to time up the hit beautifully to be able to knock that away. But boy, again, it just seems like Saginaw Valley's back end has just known where the Lakers are going to be, and they've defended this passing game for the Lakers extremely well throughout the day.
Now 2nd and 10. Schuster, a couple of fake claps. That should be offsides on Saginaw Valley. It's a free play, no whistle. Schuster's in trouble. He's going to be sacked, but this is going to be a 5-yard penalty as the defensive back for the Cardinals jumped in the neutral zone trying to get handsy with a GVSU wide receiver. Yep, it is going to be 5 yards against the Cardinals. Here's the replay. Clearly offside. We'll bring up 2nd and 5 now. At the 40-yard line after the penalty.
That is not an offside or encroachment penalty against a defense that you see all that often, where the corner out on the edge actually initiates contact prior to the snap. So, yeah, the Lakers obviously get a little bit of a break there. You got to wonder if Schuster tried to make that play last a little longer to push it down the field just because he knew he had the free play versus doing maybe what was most available to him.
So on 2nd and 5, Kenneth Jones, the running back, motions out. Schuster with time, steps, throws over the middle, good strike, and he's got his man inside the 30-yard line. That's Kenny Owens again for a first down. They've had a good connection so far in this ball game.
Yeah, and they actually connected for a touchdown, I think, back up in Marquette last week against Northern Michigan. So, again, this is the downfield passing game takes time. Good protection on this one, and Schuster was able to really step into this throw the way he wanted and put it right on the money to Owens on that in-break.
Brady Drogosh back in the game, but Schuster stays out there. We've seen Brady Drogosh in this game play some H-back. Derek Woods, the running back. On first down from the Cardinal 28. Schuster takes the snap. Play action fake, he's going to throw it out of the backfield. There's Drogosh with room to run. Spinning inside the 20. Stays on his feet close to the 15 for another first down before he's shoved backwards. How about that wrinkle?
Well, Brady Drogosh is a big kid, right? So he almost functions in this play as an H-back. It's like almost like an extra tight end. And so when you get the ball out to a big physical player like that on the edge, he can get upfield and really make some people pay.
We have a Cardinal injured. Big defensive lineman shaken up. Xavier Chasen. Don't want to speculate anything, but as we keep it here, under 2 minutes to go, the Lakers in the red zone. Looking to make it a 2-score game, only up by 2.
Trying to think, have the Lakers been in the red zone yet today? Both of their scores, I
don't
were
think
from
they have.
distance,
That's
right?
Good point by you.
25-yarder to Reed and a 58-yarder to Jolman. So this might be the first red zone trip of the day for Grand Valley.
1:51 to go in the third. Chasen will walk back to his sideline under his own power. Looking for our first points potentially of the third quarter. Defenses have been outstanding for both sides today.
Yeah, they've been duking it out. I mean, that's really kind of what the sensation I keep getting from up here in the booth. These two defenses are just sitting there saying, oh, you think you can do this? All right, I'm going to stop you here. I'm going to take it away here. I'm going to hurt you here. So credit to both defensive coordinators for the job they did getting their squads ready for this one.
Drogosh stays out there as an H-back. Schuster the QB. Woods the running back. On first down from the 16. Here's the snap, play action fake. Schuster in trouble, tries to climb the pocket, and he's sacked. Lost 3 yards to the 19, close to the 20. And there was nobody open downfield, 2nd and long coming up.
Looked like Schuster really wanted to try to go down the middle of the field. And if you looked at that route combination that they had, there were 2 Laker receivers. It just seemed a little bit close to each other, and then all of a sudden you ended up with 3, 4, or even 5 white jerseys back there. So Schuster thought the better of it. I'm not going to try and force it into a bad situation.
How about this wrinkle? All 3 quarterbacks are in the backfield. Timeout, Saginaw Valley State. They got to burn a timeout because of that wrinkle. It was like old school flat tee football with all 3 quarterbacks in the backfield.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Brady, that's probably a little bit alarming from the standpoint that we've now seen all 3 of these players make throws for Grand Valley in different situations throughout this first stretch of games. So, you see that, and it's like we talked about before. There are always those situations where sometimes it just seems like a lot of schools that use the 2-quarterback system, well, one of them's the running guy. That's the one thing that Coach Wooster and his staff keep impressing is when you talk to them, at practice or listen to them in their press conferences, they really think that all three of them have skill sets that, while there are some strengths and weaknesses between the three, they're all good enough at both running and passing it that it creates a lot of conflict when you're figuring out how am I going to defend this. So that's exactly the type of thing. Even if it just costs them the timeout, that's a small victory for the Lakers, and they'll take it.
Well, they're going to run the same formation with that three-quarterback system. Olin Izak is to the left of Schuster, Drogosh to the right. 2nd and 14. Schuster punches over, takes the snap. They hand it off to Olin Izak, right side, sidestepping, can't turn the corner, and he is dragged down after just a yard gain to the 19.
So Olin Izak is one of the fastest players on the Laker roster, so they really want to try and get the ball to him in space. So I'm a little actually surprised that they just did almost a straight handoff, and I bet you when he watches the tape, he could see when he got up, he seemed frustrated. It looked like he could have maybe cut that ball up just a little bit sooner and gotten upfield and maybe stepped through a tackle and gotten loose a little bit, and instead he bounced it toward the sideline and allowed Saginaw Valley to keep him contained.
This time they just go one quarterback on 3rd and 13. Schuster alone in the shotgun. Takes the snap. It's a 5-man rush. Sets, throws, and he was hit as he threw it, and the ball's going to roll out of bounds. Was it a pass? Did he? No, they're going to say it was a fumble. Out of bounds back at the 30-yard line. They said the ball was jarred loose prior to his arm going forward.
Well, even if his arm was going forward, the ball went laterally. So I think it's a lateral any way you slice it.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. GVSU is going to attempt a field goal to begin the fourth quarter as they'll flip ends. GVSU will be going with the wind. There is a little bit of a breeze, and GVSU will be going with the wind in the final 15 minutes. We're still at 13-11, fourth quarter. Battle of the Valleys in Allendale after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long hot soak or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Honey?
But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo in a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
GVSU on to attempt what would be a 48-yard kick from Matthew Basic. Trying to make it a 5-point lead. Basic 3 for 7 on the season in field goal attempts. Snap is a good one. Hold is down. Kick is up, and he can't tuck it inside the left upright. It is no good. And we stay 13-11. GVSU, Tony Nicolette to begin the fourth quarter.
Well, another opportunity for the Lakers to try and cash in on good field position and put some points on the board and try and extend this lead. And you got to give credit. Again, we talked just before the break. Both defenses are really playing excellent football in this game. And boy, that was for as odd as the as the first half ended up being, this third quarter was just seemed a little disjointed and funky too. So this has just been a very unique football game to call. So been fun to be along with you regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. As we have a Cardinal, looks like they're cramping. It'll be Cardinal ball at their own 30. We have not had any points scored in the second half, but you have to feel like Saginaw Valley State came into this game. They didn't care if it was ugly. They wanted to try and muck it up, give themselves a chance, and they definitely have here.
Yeah, and they've done what teams against Grand Valley this year who've kept games closer than maybe Laker fans would like to see. They've taken away that run, and they've done a great job. But again, I continue to be impressed with what the secondary for Saginaw Valley has done in this game. They have really continued to make things difficult for the Grand Valley offense in that passing game. So when the Lakers haven't been able to do what they've wanted in either facet of the offense, the fact that the Lakers have a lead at this point speaks to the job that Grand Valley's defense has been doing.
You have some finals to report elsewhere in GLIAC play, Tony. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Davenport went over to Wayne State today and got a 49-14 win over the Warriors. Up in Houghton today, that separation game that you were talking about, the undefeated Fair State against 5-1 Michigan Tech. The Bulldogs come away with a 38-10 win over the Huskies in the Battle of the Canines. And down in Metro Chicago, Northern Michigan, with a, what did you say, 27-game losing streak, 26-game losing streak?
Trying to prevent a 28-game losing streak.
Has a 35-14 lead over Roosevelt about halfway through the fourth quarter.
Actually, that losing streak is at 28 games, and they're trying to break it here. First down play. There's Jamerson scooting free into the second level. Able to slip by would-be tacklers, and he's close to midfield for a chunk play of 19 yards on a first down.
This was kind of a slow developing setup as well here, and Jamerson just kept making people miss. Great individual effort on his part. Again, that's one of the scary things about trying to defend Saginaw is you've got, everybody knows about Terrence Brown, but Michael Jamerson's a playmaker, and he's been doing it there for several years.
Play action fake, trying to run the tunnel screen, and that is erased immediately. Almost caught by McKenzie. He did the smart thing and dropped it. It's incomplete there, and immediately at the point of attack for Grand Valley State with two hands was Tyus Jackson.
Boy, and they had this set up too. That's scary to think of where that could have gone. And if you're Saginaw Valley, you're so bummed because you had it set up exactly the way you want. And sometimes those big fellas, man, they're more athletic than you think. They make great plays, and it blows everything up for you. So Tyus Jackson with a huge disruption of that screen to keep it 2nd and 10.
From their own 49. McKenzie takes the snap. It's a 4-man rush. Steps up, throws, long throw, and he's got his man for a first down into Laker territory. That's Brown, close to the 30.
Hey, Mason McKenzie, we talk about his running ability all the time, but boy, any quarterback that's going to play at this level, you give them enough time to sit back there and make a step into a throw like that, they're going to be able to beat you with it. And Terrence Brown, once again, is running with a lot less congestion near him, boy, than you'd like to see if you're the Lakers.
Now the Cardinals scrimmage from the GVSU 31. There's the orbit motion. Delayed quarterback draw. McKenzie, not much there. He's able to squeeze his way for a yard. That's about it, down to the 30. Again, they faked that bubble screen, trying to go backside on that quarterback draw, and GVSU was right there.
That's the temptation, right, to crash on that motion, and the Lakers did a good job of staying home on the backside on that one. So, boy, McKenzie still came close to finding a way to squirt through there and make a bigger play out of that than it ended up being.
They gave him 2, 2nd and 8. Some shifting by a couple of tight ends from the Cardinals here. McKenzie's ready, takes the snap, hands it off. Jamerson on the cutback. He's got room up the middle, and he crashes his way inside the 20, close to the 15 for another first down.
So as games progress, Brian, sometimes this is what you see is defenses, as they just start to get that little bit tired, it's so much easier to get them to over pursue. This is just a simple backside trap. And basically, Jamerson just finds the opening as the blocking pushes that way, and he just turns and takes it back to where everybody just came from and got the big chunk play.
So the Cardinals in the red zone. This is not the first time they've been in the red zone today. A lot of teams call it the money zone as well, especially in the NFL. On first down, here comes a blitz. McKenzie trying for the corner route, and he can't get it to Brown. Around to double team, it's incomplete. Look out, he slips on the concrete there. He's fine, 2nd and 10. He's pleading for a holding call, won't get it.
Yeah, and he probably has a bit of a case there too, but we've seen them do a lot of letting that go, more so than they've called it so far today. This is another instance though too where McKenzie probably still could have gotten that throw in there, but he seemed like he was a little bit back footing it just because of the pressure. So again, that defensive line for Grand Valley still causing problems for McKenzie as often as they can.
On 2nd down, delayed quarterback draw up the middle. There goes McKenzie inside the 5. He lost the ball, and GVSU recovers. Anthony Cardamone, unbelievable. What a hit to dislodge the football. It was a clear fumble, and Cardamone was right there.
McKenzie had a full head of steam going too, and that was a huge collision. Yeah, that ball was out.
What a hit. Josh Anderson does it again. McKenzie was pleading that his elbow was down, and I agree with you. I think that ball just came out at the last second.
It was closer than it looked like at game speed, but we'll see if Coach Brady decides if he wants to try and take a chance on challenging that or not. But
he's got to get it from his assistants in the booth here.
Yeah.
He's talking about it. Oh, he's going to take a timeout.
Well, I think that sometimes is the precursor to the challenge. He's given his guys in the booth time to be able to check and verify that. And if he ends up challenging it as successful, he probably gets his timeout. Oh no, that ball was loose already.
Yeah, that ball's coming out.
That is not going to get overturned. That's a great job by the camera crew up there on the all-22 position behind the south end zone where the student section is. Where we saw the first view from the home side of the stands, it looked like his elbow was down. From that view, you could see the ball clearly was already moving before his elbow touched down. I would be shocked. Well, we saw what we saw at the end of the first half, Brian, so I guess I won't go that far. But I'd be very surprised at this point if this ends up being overturned. This should stay Laker ball.
We have the best broadcast crew in the business. This is your best view, and yes,
right
that ball
there.
Is clearly,
that ball is moving.
Yes, it is.
And it's moving again. He's actually bringing his other hand over it. You could see it rotating. That ball was already loose. I can't fathom that that's going to get overturned. That's going to stay a fumble.
Yeah, and in the process, Saginaw Valley State's going to be down to just one timeout.
One timeout left and no challenges either.
No challenges, that is correct. But again, what a play by Josh Anderson. That is not an easy play to make with, like you said, a quarterback with a full head of steam looking for the end zone.
For sure. And Anderson and Hardy, numbers 1 and 2 for Grand Valley. We've been calling their names all afternoon. Those guys have stepped up huge and made huge plays for that. And, Cardamone gets the fumble recovery for being Johnny on the spot. But you're right, Anderson made that play there, laying the wood in there, standing in there. And that, doesn't feel good for him either, right? A quarterback barreling at you, running full go. And while McKenzie isn't the biggest guy, he's one of the faster quarterbacks you're going to run into. So, when he's got a head of steam, it isn't going to feel very good if you're standing there stationary and making the hit.
What is it for a running back? I'm recalling going back to my high school days when you're a running back, the 3 points of pressure when you're carrying the football. And it looked like when Anderson hit McKenzie, it was right on the elbow.
Yep.
And you never know. He might have lost feeling when he took
possible.
that hit.
Well, again, that left arm came over.
Yep.
Like he could sense that it was coming loose, and he was late to protect it. If he'd have protected it going in, he'd have probably been okay.
Here's the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld.
Yep.
Saginaw Valley is charged for the timeout.
It is a fumble,
and they
and
lose
again,
their
a great
challenges.
view
First down, Grand Valley.
From behind the student section by our camera crew with that ball moving before the elbow hit the ground.
Well, and Sky Coach, I believe, is the software that everybody in the GLIAC uses for these replays. I'm not sure if they have that same view or not. I'm not sure which angles the Sky Coach software has. So if they didn't have that, Who knows? Yeah. But, yeah, great job by the crew getting that shot, boys. That was beautiful, and you could see plain as day that ball was already loose.
Well, now offensively for GVSU, as they got the heavy personnel out there led by Brady Drogosh. Pascal Jolman's the running back. You got to find a way to get out of the shadow of your own end zone. They need a sustaining drive.
Boy, howdy.
It's at the 3-yard line. Third turnover of the game for the Cardinals. Here's Drogosh. Jolman to his right. They try and get the Cardinals to jump. Nothing doing. Plenty of time on the play clock. Tight end Bob's in motion. It's a keeper right side, Drogosh, and he is spun down. May have lost a yard back to the 2. What a play there.
Yeah. So this is a play that we saw last week at Northern, kind of coming out of the halftime into the third quarter. That worked beautifully. But James McDonald, he knew what was coming the whole time on this, stayed home and made the play. If Drogosh somehow keeps his feet and slips through that, okay, then it's a problem. But McDonald makes a great play, and the Lakers are now in 2nd and long.
Just going to say there was a huge hole there.
Yep.
Off the right side on 2nd and 11 now. Again, another hard count. Cardinals don't jump. Now here's the snap. It's a handoff. Jolman sidestepping a tackler in the end zone. Another one stays in bounds. A heck of an effort to get something. Maybe to the 5-yard line. They'll spot it close to the 4. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Got a lineman shaken up for GVSU. But that was almost dangerous for Jolman.
Yeah, I have to admit, again, I don't watch tape. I'm not the guy, who knows everything X's and O's wise, but running parallel to the goal line inside of your own end zone like that just seems awfully dangerous to me in a game where, giving up the deuce here makes it a tie ball game. So very dangerous play. Great job by Jolman to keep his head about him and get that ball upfield to be able to get some yards.
Boy, late subs checking in. There's only 5 on the play clock. Schuster's in at quarterback. This is going to be a delay of game. There's the clock at 0, and there's the flag. Well, Scott Wooster, when you're in the shadow of your own end zone, the delay of game is only going to push you back a couple yards. So now it's 3rd and 11. But again, Schuster came on very late with under 10 on the play clock.
Boy, sometimes maybe that's, having the multiple quarterbacks, especially, that's as far as you're going to have to make them run. If they're at midfield and you're making changes, it's a little bit more of a straight shot. You got to run all the way out and around the formation to be able to get in. Yeah, it just seems like an odd place to want to do that.
Now they go empty. Schuster alone in the end zone on 3rd and long from his own 2. Takes the snap. 4-man rush deep in the end zone. Bobbing, sets, throws, hit as he throws. It's incomplete.
Schuster's pass incomplete.
The arm looked like it was going forward. It was 4th down, and GVSU's going to have to punt it.
And I understand that you're trying to move the ball downfield here, but again, having a play that takes that long to develop, the sack is a possibility. A hold in the end zone would have been a safety. And, when he got that ball off.
Oh, they're calling intentional grounding.
Oh, he's got.
They called intentional grounding.
He got hit as he was throwing it.
A safety, 2 points, and we are tied at 13. Scott Wooster wants an explanation. That was a very late flag as they were about to snap it for the punt. Scott Wooster wants to challenge it. I don't know if he can. Yeah, and Coach Wooster is saying the same thing you were saying.
You could see him, and his arm got hit.
Now we're going to have a conference. If we can get that replay again from the boys in the truck. But yeah, as his arm was going forward, he was hit. Here's your replay. Yeah, his arm was hit as it was going forward.
Yeah, and he may have even got a piece of the ball as in addition to hitting his elbow. So
so as of right now,
when you see a ball come out like that, quarterbacks at this level just don't tend to throw ducks like that. Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like if you're an official, you have to know there was something happening. and you got to take a closer look at it. Now, again, I don't know what ability to challenge or adjudicate or review things they've got. Maybe they just thought like he got hit in the body, because if he gets hit in the body, there's a little bit of tough luck. But when they hit that hand forward motion like that, you don't know where the ball's going. So the idea that you're going to call that a grounding, that is a really tough call.
Well, there's going to be no review, and GVSU is going to have to free kick it from their own 20. Saginaw Valley State, their points have come from 2 field goals, a safety, and a blocked extra point return for 2. No touchdowns, but they are sensing all the momentum in the world now with a tie game.
3 field goals and what it equates to 2 safeties.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, 3 field goals and 2 two-pointers.
Yeah, 2 two-pointers. That's right.
It's just been a weird game, a very weird game, but a lot to be decided.
And if you're Grand Valley, you got to put your defense back out there again.
Free kick from Hergich. High end over end wobbly kick's going to touch down. Takes a sideways roll. That's free football. Who wants it? And Hill slides on it. But that's a huge break for GVSU because it's all the way back at the 19.
This should have been up near the 40 at a minimum for starting field position for Saginaw Valley. So yeah, what a huge break for the Lakers. Not sure what the return guys were doing back there, letting that one land at all. Because again, that's a free kick. That's a free football. That's even though they punted it, it's still a free kick. So if the Lakers had somehow had somebody down there who could get on it, it would have been Grand Valley football.
So here we go. Mason McKenzie. We still got 10 minutes to play here, folks. A lot of football left to be played. McKenzie, who fumbled on the previous drive inside the 5, is in the shotgun. They'll jet sweep it to the wide side. Brown, he gets submarine, keeps his footing momentarily, and gets 6 yards to the 25. So he was high load there. 2nd and 4 coming up. So we are at exactly 10 minutes of game time. But Saginaw Valley, you mentioned their overall record and where they're at in the GLIAC. This is like a playoff game for them.
It is, and they're playing like it.
Yep. Haven't won in Allendale in over 2 decades. On 2nd and 4, handoff, Jamerson on the cutback. Not much. Yard, maybe 2. They're only going to give him a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 3.
How many times that the Lakers have asked their defense to step up. Here we are in a position where they've still got a chance to get the Cardinals off the field here on 3rd down, and they've been pretty successful at it. But boy, 3rd and short, that really gives Saginaw Valley a whole bunch of options. But it is interesting. It seems like they've been a much more conservative play calling when they've been anywhere inside their own 30. Let's see how much they open it up here to try and move the sticks.
Just a 3-man front for the Lakers. Here's the short drop. Pocket holds. Down the seam he goes. He's got Brown and he dropped it. He had a touchdown and he flat out dropped it. What a break for the GVSU defense. It's 4th down.
Boy, for all the times we've talked about Terrence Brown today, that is not a play that we would have expected to see from him. And watching the top of the route as we were watching it live, it was interesting to see it. You don't see Josh Anderson being too demonstrative. It did look like Brown maybe got a little bit of a push, but not anything that they're necessarily going to call a penalty on. But he got that separation because it came all of a sudden. When that ball came out, Anderson was right next to him.
Yes.
And it looked like that was going to have to be a perfect throw to drop it in over him. And then all of a sudden he had a yard or 2 behind him.
Now we get a whistle in the last
there is no play.
timeout of the half used by Saginaw Valley
They're
State.
3rd for the half.
Wow. They are out of timeouts for regulation. And a special teams timeout. And Ryan Brady is none too pleased, but the timeout usage for Saginaw Valley State has raised a lot of question marks here in the 2nd half.
Well, and I was so busy being long-winded there. I didn't really see what was going on to try and understand just what the heck was going on as to why they would feel compelled to take that timeout. I mean, even if you get another 5 yards there, it doesn't necessarily impact you. Yeah, it's deep in your own end, but it's still, if you're going to kick it away. So they must have seen something that they didn't like. I don't know if it was a protection that they felt like wasn't aligned correctly, and the Lakers might have had a shot to get in and block it. I really don't know. And you would think that Grand Valley would be setting up for a return here anyway, to try and give themselves a short field.
Lynn Weichel parked around his own 35 for the Lakers. Again, here's that two-punter formation. Now they shift back to one. The punter is Lenderink. Long count, trying to get GVSU to jump. There's the snap, not much of a rush. Tail dragging kick towards the Saginaw sideline. Going to take a cardinal roll inside the 35, around the 33, maybe the 32. Well, you mentioned the Laker defense. We talked about the Saginaw defense, but GVSU defensively, they've been on the field a lot, and they've held serve as well. We'll take a timeout. Under 9 to go. Tie ball game here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Five of our health centers. Our team of highly skilled physicians, physical therapists, and athletic trainers provide treatments for injuries, joint pain, or whatever is holding you back. University of Michigan Health West is the official sports medicine provider of GVSU athletics. More at ufmhealthwest.org/locations.
Honey?
But the gains are pumping.
Yeah, the market's closed.
Futures don't sleep in the after hours, bro.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, Penny stocks are blowing up. Sweetie, grab your piggy bank. We're going all in. Let me ask you, for your wedding, do you want a gazebo in a river?
I don't... What's a gazebo?
Something that your mother always wanted and never got.
Or you could give these different investment options a shot.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
I'm keeping the best.
Before the fall. Before the new routine. Before the exam. The cast. The all clear. And the expiration date. You need confidence. And for 85 years, Michigan has trusted Blue Cross to be there, ready to help.
GVSU football 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Back live inside Lever Stadium. Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette. 13-13, Battle of the Valleys. Andrew Schuster at quarterback with Pascal Jolman, who's got one of the touchdowns, receiving for GVSU in the backfield. Tight end Bob's in motion. They'll hand it off to Jolman, left side, trying to go upfield, and again, there's nothing there. Lost a yard. Back to the 32. 2nd and 11.
Coming into this game, you know, we knew that Boyve was going to be somebody to watch. James McDonald has been in on a ton of these types of plays. So kudos to the linebacking crew for Saginaw Valley. They've both been everywhere today, but McDonald in particular, we've called his name a whole bunch of times.
2nd and 11. Jolman still the running back. Spread them out this time. Play clock down to 10. Schuster observes a 4-man front. On the snap, it's a 4-man rush. Tiptoes to his left, sets up the screen to Jolman. Jolman shoved out of bounds after a minimal gain of maybe 2 at most. They only give him a yard. They tried to run the screen earlier that went pay dirt. But that time Saginaw Valley State was right there. It's now 3rd and 10 after just a yard.
Yeah, and this one was more set out to be kind of that flat screen versus a middle one. But again, Saginaw Valley was ready for it. Here we are. Lakers seem to be in 3rd and long just about every possession that they have. So here we go again.
3rd and 10. Cardinals showing blitz up front. Schuster takes the snap. Here they come. Rolls to his right. Squares up. Pump fake. Throws over the middle. He's got his man. First down and more. He's carrying a would-be tackler. It's Lynn Weichel right at midfield. What a throw by Schuster.
Well, and this is a tough one, too, because you're rolling Schuster to his right. He's a left-handed quarterback, so he has to roll and then turn around to get his body position correctly to make that throw. But great job by Lynn Weichel in terms of his route, getting himself open, showing his numbers to Schuster. Boy, Schuster getting it over that linebacker, too, as well, was a heck of a throw. So the Lakers convert again on 3rd and long.
Well, here's another quarterback change. Zach Olenizak into the game. 10 on the play clock. From their own 49, they spot it. Sion Usma Harper's the running back. Olenizak ready to go. Takes the snap. Handoff, Usma Harper. Hopping around, gets what he can into Cardinal territory at the 47, so he gets 4 on first down. And again, we have to reiterate this. Saginaw Valley State has no timeouts left.
Yeah, so the Lakers, obviously, you could see they're being methodical here. They haven't moved the ball, quite frankly, really at all here in the second half, other than the one drive where they had the missed field goal. So moving the ball is job number one. If you can burn a bunch of the clock off, okay, that's an added bonus at this point.
Down to 6 minutes, 2nd and 6. Olenizak takes the snap. Handoff, Usma Harper trying to find a crease, and he is shoved backwards. No gain. 3rd and 6. Boy, there is just no running room as we got a Cardinal trying to win an award for some acting. He's not going to get the benefit of a flag.
What was funny, too, is because both those guys were standing there facing each other with their arms up. So,
well, it's a big down for both sides. Andrew Schuster back into the game at quarterback. We'll call it 3rd and 7. They spread them out. Play clock down to 10. Cardinal faithful making some noise across the way. Here's the snap. Here comes the blitz. Pocket hold. Schuster. A little bit of a wheel route. Lynn Weichel. A little bit of grabbing there down the sideline. It's incomplete over his head. There's no flag, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and this was one where you're just kind of hoping that you could get Weichel back behind DJ Volts again, and Volts hung with him pretty well. And then you had safety help over the top on this one as well. So I guess the good news for the Lakers on this is at least Schuster put enough air under the ball to get it to where if Weichel gets deep enough, he can make a play on it. But the safety coming over the top is not going to be able to get it before the ball goes out of bounds and is able to pick it off. So another disappointing possession if you're a Laker fan. And at least up to a little while ago, they always just had a lead with this. The game's tied here, guys. So if the Lakers really want to try and convert this into a win at home here, they got to find a way to go get some points.
New punter, Evan Sunderman. And it's a fake. Sunderman down the sideline, needs another block, and he gets a high tackle. They tried to fake the punt, and he is short of the first down by a couple of yards. And Sunderman, like I said, he took a really high hit, and he is slow to get up. So Scott Wooster decides to roll the dice and try and fake a punt, and Sunderman just couldn't get there. And Sunderman is a little bit hobbled. He had one block, he needed one more, and he just couldn't get there. So here's the replay.
Boy, that
was a really high tackle.
Really high tackle, and you wonder, it was Boyve that came over and made that play. Just the way he grabbed him, it looked like he could have. You can't see it, so there's no way you could call it, but it looked like he could have gotten a hand on that face mask.
Well, hopefully Sunderman's okay. The way he went down, that was very awkward. But Saginaw Valley State gets the stop after the fake punt attempt, and they'll have it with good field position at their own 44-yard line with 5 minutes to go. Don't want to speculate anything, but it kind of looked like the way he was hobbling around, don't know if he twisted something. But that was the first play that Sunderman has participated in. Hergich was the normal punter.
Well, and once again, preparation. You could tell Saginaw Valley just was not fooled.
Sunderman's going to try and walk it off. As he works his way to the sideline. We do have one more score to report here, and it's official for Northern Michigan's sake. Their long losing streak has finally come to an end.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Richardson and the Northern Michigan University Wildcats. 42-21 victors over Roosevelt down there in Metro Chicago here on this fine Saturday.
So Davenport, Ferris State, Northern Michigan, all winners so far. This game is yet to be decided. It looks like all the road teams have won so far, if that's correct. We'll see how this game transpires. So here we go with 5 minutes to go. Cardinals with great field position, and they got a great place kicker as well. McKenzie fakes the bubble screen. Quarterback draw up the middle, and he is just charging ahead, and he's got a first down into Laker territory at the 45-yard line. That was his pure strength there.
Yeah, well, and you're starting to see, too. I mean, the Lakers, they actually had a small advantage in terms of time of possession in the first half. In this second half, it just seems like Saginaw's had the ball pretty much the whole half, so that Laker defense has got to be starting to tire at some point.
So on first down, there goes the orbit motion. Brown in the backfield. Going to hand it off. Jamerson gets bumped, gets what he can. Couple, maybe 3, and another stoppage. Laker lost their helmet. They'll have to come out for a play. That's Elijah Baker. 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard gain. Like I said, their place kicker, Tegan Lindering, he drilled a 53-yarder earlier in the game that opened the scoring. So he's got a leg. We're coming up on 4 minutes to go. GVSU has their full complement of timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Jamerson, the running back. They give it to him left side, and he is slowed down and dropped immediately after 2 more yards. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Ronald Jackson was kind of spun around on that, just held his position and gobbled up Jamerson to keep that to a short gain. Great play by the interior lineman there.
Well, if you're Jim Lewis, what do you do defensively? What does Saginaw Valley State do to counter? Under 3.5 to go. 3rd and 5. It's a long 5. Again, just a 3-man front shown by GVSU. Here's the orbit motion into the backfield on the snap. Quarterback draw up the middle. McKenzie's got room and more. There he goes down the sideline, and he is gone. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley State. And with just over 3 to go, the Cardinals have the lead, 19-13.
Boy, the Lakers just went right upfield on this one. Both ends went straight upfield, and there was just nobody home in the middle. And great blocking by the Cardinal offensive line on that one. Another example of the right call at the right time. Coach Lewis had that little bit of an outside pressure dialed up, and they ran it right straight up the middle. So great call by Saginaw Valley, and Lendering's on to try and see if he can make it a 7-point lead.
Their first touchdown of the game. Couldn't have come at a better time. Here's the kick. It's up, and it's good. And we get a very late flag, as that might go against Grand Valley for running into the kicker. And if that's the case, Saginaw Valley State's going to kick right at midfield. As we go to break, here's your replay, and well, we'll let you be the judge. It's 20-13 Saginaw Valley State on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette back with you inside Lubbers Stadium. Just over 3 minutes to go. GVSU gambled on a punting situation just inside Saginaw Valley State territory. Went for a fake punt on 4th and long, didn't get it. And the Cardinals, Tony, go back the other way. Mason McKenzie, as he taunts the student section with the anchor down, scampered in to give the Cardinals a 20-13 lead.
Well, we talked in the first half too. Sometimes you just have to be selective about when you run that quarterback, because you just can't do it all the time. But realistically, when they've made plays like that, he's had room and he's made big plays. Even the fumble, he was running free. This one was one where the Lakers just couldn't get him on the ground, and now the Cardinals have their first lead of the game.
Lindering's kick's going to be fielded inside the 10 by Weichel. Looking for his blockers. Up the middle he goes. Surges ahead, and he's tripped up and slowed down just across the 25 to about the 27. Actually spotted at the 26. And now, if you're the Laker offense, it's been a tough go of things, especially here in the second half.
Right.
This is your ball game.
It is. I mean, obviously, this is a situation where Grand Valley still has all 3 of their timeouts, so they at least got, that advantage. So for some reason, they do need to punt it away. They know they can, theoretically get the ball back if they're able to get a stop. But obviously, the Lakers, they don't want to let it come to that. They want to try and get the ball moving downfield here and see if they can't get this game tied back up.
Schuster in at QB. Sion Usma-Harper, the running back. On first down from his own 26-yard line. Trying to get the Cardinals to jump. Here's the snap. Play action fake. Schuster with time to the sideline on the comeback route. He's got Kellen Reed out of bounds, close to a first down. Let's see where they spot it. 34, a couple of yards shy. As we near the 2-minute timeout, 2nd and 2 coming up for GVSU. They rush to the line of scrimmage. Cardinals kind of playing a shell defense in the secondary. Don't want to get burned deep. Schuster claps, takes the snap, drops back, plenty of time, looking, throwing, deep out route. He's got Weichel near midfield for a first down around the 48-yard line.
All right, so 2 plays into the drive. Grand Valley's offensive line doing a good job holding up. No blitz pressure coming from Saginaw. They've just been coming with their base 4. But they've been able to give Schuster enough time to be able to make precision throws. One to Reed here on the near side, one to Weichel on the far. Lakers are approaching midfield here as we work down towards 2 minutes.
As they go empty, another 4-man rush over the middle. He's got Weichel. Oh, man, and he was blown up. What a hard hit. He held on to the football. That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. About a 7-yard pickup. And there's the 2-minute timeout. It'll be 2nd and 4. Oh, that was a hard hit, but Weichel's a tough customer. And they'll take us to a timeout. Don't go away. We'll close this one out, regardless of what happens, here on the Grand Valley Sports Network after this break.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
From the first snap to the final whistle, News 8 puts you in the huddle with Football Frenzy. Join Jack, Laney, and Alec all season long, covering all the action across West Michigan. Every week, we bring you the most games and the biggest plays. Make Wood TV 8 your home for high school football with Football Frenzy, sponsored by Meijer.
Yeah, he sheds a little, and he barks at the mailman. But for trustworthy, nobody beats Archie. Except maybe the guys at Cool Toyota. They made me feel like part of the family the second I walked in the door. Then they gave me a great deal backed by their 10-year, million-mile warranty. Want to go for a million-mile walk, boy? Nah, I didn't think so. Wherever I'm going, I let Cool Toyota take me there.
2 minutes to go here in Allendale. Battle of the Valleys. Brian Fongers, Tony Nicolette. GVSU in Cardinal territory with a 2nd and 4, down by a touchdown. Andrew Schuster at quarterback with Pascal Jolman as running back. On the snap, to roll out to the left. Schuster looking, squares up, throws down the field, one-on-one. Kellen Reed can't come up with it. A lot of hand fighting, no flag. It's incomplete. Pretty well thrown football. It's 3rd and 4.
And there was a lot of hand fighting, indeed. I would love to see the replay here to see if we can get a feel for if it was a pretty even exchange. Yeah, okay, Reed does get a little bit of a push off, but he was definitely looked like his jersey came out like he was being held a little bit too. And again, that's the type of stuff that if it seems somewhat equal downfield, they've been letting that go all day. So that's probably consistent with how they've officiated the rest of the game.
3rd and 4. Schuster alone in the gun. Here's the snap. It's a 4-man rush. It holds, throws over the middle. Good box out by Bird. He's got it at the 40, maybe the 39 for a first down. Like I said, just a great job boxing out the defender.
Well, and that's a name we haven't called today other than the one that we thought maybe he should have caught coming down on the near side here. And you're darn right. That's exactly what he did. He got his position, boxed out, used that big frame of his, and the defender even got a hand in on it, and Bird still reeled it in.
Going tempo on the out route, wide open is Weichel. Down the sideline, another first down, close to the 25. Now again, under 2 minutes in each half. You go out of bounds, the clock stops. You don't have to rush.
Yep.
After a first down, it will stop momentarily to reset the sticks.
It's basically the old school timing rules that at least I grew up with. You might be young enough that some of that wasn't in place. But yeah, the clock is going to stop until we see the snap here.
First down from the Cardinal 26. We haven't seen them blitz yet, the Cardinals defensively on this drive. It's just been a 4-man rush. Again, just a 4-man rush. Hitch route, wide open and dropping it. Incomplete, had a lot of room. Donovan Johnson, first time we've called his name, and it just went right through his hands.
Yeah, it sure did. And even if the defender comes up and makes the play there, it makes it 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. So would have been a good gain for Grand Valley. But offensive line is holding up here. You're right. They haven't brought a whole lot of pressure, but the line has been giving Schuster time, and he's been finding his guys, and it's just been methodical chunks down the field so far. Let's see if they can do that again, get back to it on 2nd and 10.
Kenneth Jones, the running back, to the right of Schuster. They'll motion out of the backfield on 2nd down. Here comes some delayed pressure over the middle. He goes! He's got Kenyon Owens around the 10. Another first down, 1st and goal coming up.
And they brought pressure this time, and that ball came out just in time. But a laser shot down the middle of the field from Schuster, and a great job by Kenyon Owens catching that ball in traffic, bringing it into his body so it didn't come loose on his way to the ground, and the Lakers are in 1st and goal.
Oh, we got some confusion defensively. Again, the Cardinals don't have any timeout, and they jump in the neutral zone.
Plays that flag.
Well, that's essentially a timeout for them.
It's a free 5 yards, though, for Saginaw
Fair
Valley.
enough. Yep.
For GVSU, I should say, on the offsides. I think that was done intentionally.
Probably, because they weren't going to have the personnel they needed, and it might have been a walk-in if they couldn't get lined up. So I wonder if they're just going to make this is going to move it to the 4.5.
Should.
They haven't called anything yet.
Yeah, here's the replay. Just a lot of confusion, and yet that was intentional.
Boy,
he sweat
came in and just swiped at it.
Yeah. Is that unsportsmanlike? I might be thinking outside the box here.
That's a
offside.
great.
Nope, they're just going to
Good
call
contact.
offside.
Number 40, half the distance to the goal.
Call me crazy, but
replay the down.
I think I've seen in the game of football, if you swipe at the football, I might have seen that called as unsportsmanlike.
As soon as you
never
said
know.
it dawned on me. But to be able to give you an exact case or instance that I could reference as a bit of context to that, I don't have it. So
well, if you're GVSU, you got plenty of time. 3 timeouts. You got 4 downs to get 4 yards.
Right. Once again, Brian, you're smarter than I am.
Zion Usma-Harper's the running back. 1st and goal. We'll call it the 4.5 for GVSU. Schuster takes the snap. He's going to drop back and throw it. Sets, throws, corner out. Lynn Weichel, touchdown Lakers! It's a 1-point game with a minute to go.
And with this much time left on the clock, you have to wonder, and Grand Valley looks like they're leaving their offense on the field. Are they going to go and try and get the lead here?
They are. Scott Wooster says we're going for 2.
Because if they don't get it, they can either onside it or kick it deep and try and burn their timeouts to get the ball back.
And again, Saginaw Valley State doesn't have a timeout to use to regroup.
Correct.
Now, well, here's the situation. Scott Wooster's going to use one of his timeouts.
Once again, my analysis has been foiled.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you like them going for 2?
I can argue it a whole bunch of different ways. It's really easy for those of us who kind of are fans and analysts to be able to second guess, and it's always very easy to say, well, the more aggressive play tends to be what you want to do here. I mean, I guess the flip side of it is if they don't get it, when they had the 3 timeouts, the theory was they could probably get the ball back, but you've already had your offense get a drive for you in an instance that they really haven't been able to do it so far today. Maybe they feel like they got a better advantage of defending Saginaw. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could argue this 14 different ways, and probably none of them's right. So, he's the head coach. He gets paid the big bucks to make these calls, and so he's got to go with what he feels like his team can do. Maybe he's worried that if they don't get, I don't know, if they don't get it, they could try and stop them. If they do get it, Saginaw moved the ball really, really well, and they only need a field goal. I don't know if you're just worried that you don't want to have to put your offense back out there again. I don't know. There are just all these different ways to do it. And maybe they feel like they've got a play that'll work. Obviously, on this drive, they've moved the ball very, very well. So, yeah, I guess we're going to find out here real quick how bright it is.
Here we go. Pascal Jomans, the running back behind Schuster. They're going for 2. They need 3 yards. Jomans shifts over to the left. Schuster looks back at the sideline. He's ready to go. Tight end goes in motion. Here's the 2-point conversion. A short roll to his left. Schuster throws, looking for Bird. It's batted down and complete at the goal line.
Intended for number 0, Sean Bird.
It's not over yet.
Broken up by number 13.
You're going to have an onside kick. They tried to go to their big target. And that was just great defense.
It was, and this is the thing, is like when you've seen, it was Weichel and Reed, and that kind of got him down the field. This was one where you're just trying to box him out, but it's not a turn around and box out situation. The defender's actually coming forward with Bird on the route, so he's got what Schuster's trying to do in his vision, so that is a little bit, I think, easier to defend. Hey, if he's found a way to maybe get just a little bit of extension at the top of the route to get that little bit of separation, that might have worked. But boy, taking that time out to call the play, that's brutal at this point, because any chance that you had to get stops and get the ball back with any kind of time to do anything, that's gone now, because Saginaw is going to be able to burn this down even if they have to punt somehow after the onside kick. Grand Valley's going to have 10 seconds left to try and go the length of the field.
Well, here comes one of the more exciting plays in all of football, the onside kick. Matthew Basic will kick it. We'll see what they have drawn up here. Boy, the way they're lined up here, you might see just a little dribbler to the middle. You got a couple of big bodies for GVSU. Saginaw's looking for it. So here we go. You got to make sure it goes 10 yards or Saginaw Valley State touches it. Now they do some shifting around. Here comes the kick. It's a pretty good one. Takes a hop at 10 yards, and the Cardinals come up with it down the sideline. Down to the 20. Stiff arm getting spun down around the 15-yard line.
And it's tough to do it when you're in the middle of the play, but the Lakers doing everything they could to stop him. They should have just let him score.
Yeah.
Because then Saginaw kicks the extra point, and it's an 8-point lead, but then the Lakers are going to have 54, 55 seconds with a chance to at least get the ball back and go down to try and tie it. Now Saginaw is just going to kneel it out, and this is going to be it.
57 seconds. Well, they're actually going to take a few seconds off the clock. But like Tony said, that timeout on the 2-point conversion, that was a big timeout that GVSU took to try and set up their 2-point play that obviously didn't come up successful. Now, there's no victory formation yet for the Cardinals. McKenzie, Jamerson to his left. They'll ham it off to Jamerson. And he slides down around the 10, and there's timeout number 2 for GVSU.
Yeah, and you can tell Grand Valley really was kind of playing a ghost defense there. Like, they broke down like they were going to try and tackle him. Jamerson basically dove into one of the Laker defenders there. Coach Brady doing a great job saying, hey, we don't want to score here. Get some yardage, get down, keep the clock rolling, make them burn timeouts, and we'll give them the ball back if we have to with no time left on the clock, and they got to go pretty much the length of the field. So great job by Saginaw Valley there in terms of coaching the kids up, coming back out. They're going to try and let you score. Don't take the bait. Get down. And we saw that in the Thursday night game the other night, right, where T. Higgins caught that deep ball to the corner, and he got down and slid down inside the 10, and Cincinnati was able to wind the rest of the clock out and kick the field goal with about 10 seconds left, and Pittsburgh didn't have enough time to actually get a possession to try and go down and get another score.
Grand Valley State came in winners of 12 straight in this series, 20 of the last 21. And all of a sudden, Saginaw Valley State's just seconds away from snapping a long 2-decade-plus losing streak here in Allendale. So from the 10-yard line, handoff, Jamerson up the middle, stumbles down about a yard shy, and there's the last time out by GVSU. And like you said, Tony, GVSU's trying to let him score, but it's going to be 3rd and roughly 1 to go.
Well, and if you're Grand Valley here, you're going to have to defend this play now, because if they get any yardage, if they get inside the 5 and kneel it down, it's a first down, and then that's it.
Yep.
If you stop them, at least Saginaw Valley then is put into a 4th down situation where they have to decide, are we going to kick the field goal? Do we go for it? What do we do? And then the Lakers, well, if you look at the math, even if they get the ball back, they might have a second left.
Yep.
And so I mean, this game is looking very dire if you're a Laker fan, but if you're on that Cardinals sideline, boy, they've really worked hard and played a great ball game today to try and earn the first win in this series in a long time, and the first one here in Allendale. Boy, in a couple of decades. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. So they'll spot it around the 6. It's going to be 3rd and either a long 1 or a short 2, however you want to call it. Both teams out of timeouts. Heavy personnel out there for the Cardinals. If they want to get the first down, that would signal the end of the ball game. Kenzie hands it off. Jamerson up the middle, slides down. And did he get it? It was kind of a baseball slide. It depends on where his slide started. They stopped the clock. And it looks like he got it. And if that's the case, that is going to be your ball game. It is. Cardinals only have to snap it once more, and they're going to come away victorious.
1st and goal for Saginaw Valley.
So here's the victory formation and the kneel down, and that is your ball game. Saginaw Valley State, for the first time since 2003, comes into Allendale and picks up a victory over GVSU. They're now 4-3 on the season, 3-0 in GLIAC play. GVSU, a crushing loss. They're now 4-2, 2-1 in GLIAC play as Ferris State awaits them up at Big Rapids next Saturday. Tony Nicolette, your final thoughts on this game?
Yeah, well, this was one of the more unique games that either of us has ever seen, let alone called. You got to give credit to Saginaw Valley for staying resilient throughout this game, despite the turnovers, despite the adversity. They found a way, even Grand Valley getting stops against their offense and only getting field goals throughout much of the game. They found a way to get that touchdown late to get a win. And for Grand Valley, there's definitely a lot of that they're going to have to try and figure out, because once again, the problem that we've seen when they've had difficulties this year is running the football. It was a problem again today, and this time it cost them against a league rival.
GVSU will be on the road the next 2 weeks. I mentioned the Anchor Bone showdown with Ferris State up in Big Rapids. They'll be in Detroit against Wayne State. We'll be back at home for the final 2 weeks of the regular season in November against Michigan Tech for homecoming, Roosevelt on Senior Day. So we'll talk to you in a few weeks. That's going to wrap things up here from Allendale in the Battle of the Valley. Saginaw Valley State knocks off number 7 Grand Valley State 20-19. And you look at the GLIAC standings, the 2 top teams, Ferris State and Saginaw Valley State, at 3-0 in the GLIAC. For my broadcast partner, Tony Nicolette, and the boys in the truck, I'm Brian Fonger saying thanks for tuning in. You've been tuning in live here on the Grand Valley Sports Network to the Battle of the Valleys. Congrats to the Cardinals. They get it done with a 2-point stop with about a minute to go. Thanks for tuning in. Anchor up, go Lakers, and so long from Lubbers Stadium in Allendale, Michigan.